Approved.
Meow.
Oh, you have superior
You're clipping out a little bit, Dave. Again.
dark vision. Damn. What I said.
Hoo-wee.
Owls. Owls.
Hoo. Hoo.
They're also completely silent when they fly, just as a heads up.
Oh shit.
Superior
Completely
flying stealth.
silent.
So, everyone here? Everyone good?
Almost.
Almost good?
Almost good.
Okay. I can work with that. Can I spit some narrative at you?
Yeah.
So, all the goblins around you lay dead, save for one who's still asleep near Auric and the others. The mother figure is alive, severely wounded, but you've managed to stabilize her, and she can sort of hobble along poorly, but she's alive. Her family seems ecstatic, obviously, but also still terrified. They kind of go on to explain that they were on their way to the keep in the center of town. The one in the same that you were told you might find this Governor Nighthill, who takes residence there. The woman says, "My name's Linan Swift. It's my husband, Cuff. Please, if there's any way we could travel with you towards the keep. There's patrols everywhere, and I've been trying to defend them the best I can, but they're everywhere, and we're surely going to run into more." And she's kind of like looking around, and like even in the distance, in the pale moonlight, like the dim light up ahead, you can look past this stream that sort of separates you from the main part of the town, and it's way off in the distance above on this hill that you see this keep rising, jutting up above the rest of it all. And you can see this over the tree line and past the stream. At this point, Krennic, you notice the dragon is very much just sort of in a holding pattern, really seemingly only riling up the fear in the people. There's almost like a herding sort of happening from the outside, and you can kind of see now from the numerous fires that sort of dot the perimeter. They're slowly working their way through the keep, and anyone that's not holed up in hiding is fleeing towards the center of town at this point, as far as you can tell. But in the not too distant regions beyond you, like just past the waterfront, you swear that you all can see large groups moving together in sort of flocking like patterns. And even way off to the west, over here, you kind of see other people moving as well. So, her family kind of gathers in around you all. What would you like to do?
There's still one of these little goblin dragon guys alive on the ground.
There is a sleeping goblin guy above Gra.
I'm gonna go put my hand down around his neck and chest and hold him down onto the ground, and then look back to you guys.
Well, he's in that. I can see the dragon that's circulating, right, or holding.
Yeah, it's very far off, but you can
Okay.
definitely see it.
Just out of curiosity, can I tell, for instance, bards and tabaxi in general love to share stories by the hearth in taverns. Have I heard anything about this? Are there any like landmarks on this dragon that make it familiar to me from the stories I've heard?
Make a perception check, and I'll allow Krennic to join you as well, since he kind of comes from a background of dragon studies.
Oh, damn it.
So we know nothing.
You can tell when the moonlight catches the scales that it is definitely not a metallic dragon, and metallic dragons are like your silvers, your bronzes, your golds, etc., and typically very good-natured. It is definitely a dark, chromatic dragon, but you can't tell if it's blue or black scales in this light. Either way, definitely, dragons are highly intelligent creatures in your knowledge, in your studies. But chromatic dragons, whether blue or black, typically evil. Or definitely not good in any case, which you could have surmised just from their participation here today, I suppose.
Not a good dragon.
The father kind of steps in and is like, What are you gonna do with the kobolds? We can't stand out here forever.
We should probably drag him over to the side of this building right up here. That's what we should probably do.
Is there a hearth around here?
I'm gonna pimp out New Krennic art. A hearth?
Aww.
Is there Nine likes to share stories by a fire. I'm just looking around for a fire.
I mean, there are fires everywhere. Like, there's literally a fire on the building behind you, like a small one. Like, it's not like totally in flames or anything, but there's a small part of it that's, there's at the base of it, like a haystack or something behind it was probably burning a bit.
We could use that as a hearth. You can get your stories from him there.
I mean, you are very clearly in a town under siege by numerous groups of raiders and bandits. These folks are, they've clearly indicated that they want to get to the keep.
Hurry this up. Grob, move him to the shade.
Grob nods and he drags the critter forwards over to the edge of it.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm a little concerned that every villager is going to the keep. All the dragon has to do is set it on fire, so...
Well, let's ask him. Maybe this guy knows. So I slapped the shit out of him to wake him up. But
Grob holds the guy down onto the ground while he's getting slapped out of him.
Okay. You would come here. He's kind of like looking up and just feels like the pressure of this large hand holding him down. You're not friend?
why are you moving the people to the keep?
Like, you can, if his chest was strong enough, you would feel it pushing your hand with like how hard and heavy his heart is beating right now.
We work for cult. We work for dragon people. Big dragon lady. They're after loot. All the loot.
And he kind of clutches like a few weird just trinkets and baubles that he has like around his arm, like a bracelet or something stupid. It's probably not valuable at all.
What is your name? What is your name?
Grit.
Margaret, do you like to play games?
He just looks, he's kind of just deer in headlights mode, just doesn't know what to say. Are you standing down around him?
Grass squeezes pretty tight and then relaxes just to cause a little pain.
I was kind of standing over him while Grob was holding him down.
Okay.
And I have my dice in my hands. Just wanted to see if you wanted to play a game of chance.
Oh, I fucking love it.
If you like to play games, I want to play one with you.
Yeah.
It's about the information.
Grits need to play?
Well, do you like to die?
Okay.
I would maybe suggest that you do play, if I was you.
He kind of like stretches an arm out the best he can while still under the just big hand plant of Gra.
I look to Orc. I really don't know what to ask.
Well, I would, so tell me. We too are working for the big dragon lady, but we're a little bit late coming to the party, as it turns out. So where are all the troops going? And what's the general plan? We just heard everybody was attacking, so we decided to run down here and get what we could.
Some others told go other places, but Grits and friends just supposed to run through all the buildings, find all the treasures.
You can kind of hear as he says that a distant bell tolling way far off, probably some distance east of the keep.
And,
Shit.
And we know that the dragon is here too.
Yeah,
He kind of like almost doesn't want to look up, but does, and he goes like,
yeah, dragon helping all of us, yeah.
kind of like nods enthusiastically.
How?
Scare all the stupid people.
Oh, yes. Yeah, scare them.
Make them leave
Terrified.
houses so we can take all the treasures.
So, when does the dragon attack?
Huh?
Yeah, when does he attack?
Huh?
Yeah, sorry.
I don't. Grits not know. They don't tell
I
Grits
elbow.
much.
I elbow Oric and say, I think that's above his pay grade.
Perhaps you're right. Well, if you're gonna play a game with him, I suggest you get it over with. We need to get going.
No, I think we won. I think we've already won.
As you look up from the kobold and hear this bell that had just rung out, you see congregating just past the river, even bodies moving through the river, what you could presume is a large force of either townsfolk or more bandits and raiders at the crossroads somewhere up in this direction.
Krennic!
Yeah.
Do you think you could maybe take just a wee little, flight right over the trees and tell us who it is that's moving towards the keep? Are they friend or foe?
I'll be right back. And I do. I jump real high,
I do.
fly for a round, and come back down.
And Oric turns to Gra and just kind of gives him the little head nod.
Trying to go
Okay.
above the buildings to see like who's making their way to the keep.
How far are you flying?
Just 50 feet vertical.
Okay, so straight up.
Yeah. It's just
Okay.
Finny,
And then-
could you
and back down.
Yeah, what's up, Casey?
could you pull the map for me? Because the green needle on the large map isn't taking me to the lower, closer, tighter, more intimate setting.
Here's setting.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So, Krennic and Krennic alone, you fly up and see a mishmash of humans who aren't dressed unlike yourselves in many respects, and other kobolds surrounding these houses just past the stream on the other side of that road there. Clearly, they're like looting or fleecing or something. They're rallying up. Beyond that, on this main road that leads to the keep, over here, you see numerous patrols and forces that appear to be sort of lining up and trying to blockade the road towards the keep.
Oh. Wait, are there
Uh,
people moving toward that blockade?
There is. I mean, it's hard to tell. Like the people you see near the stream, you could
Yeah.
tell they're swarming all around the house. It's hard to tell if they're fleeing or if they're looting.
Oh, okay. All right, so it's not like a bunch of people are like rushing to safety toward the enemy. Okay. Yeah, I fly back down and I relay that information.
Okay.
I don't see anybody moving toward the keep for safety.
After he does, and Gra's still holding this guy down,
Yeah.
I want to ask him, would you take us to the rest of the party? We'd like to join with your looting.
How? Yeah. Yeah, looting everywhere.
First,
He's kind of. Alright, hold on a second. I need you to make a persuasion check, because as he's looking around excitedly about where he could possibly go loot, he is seeing the large quantity of dead kobold bodies that litter the ground behind you all and in front of you.
ooh, can I... while he's still looking,
Uh-huh.
does Minor Illusion... Can I just cast so it looks like the ground plane? Even though he already
let's
saw it
see.
once? I don't know if that's too much of a major. Oh no, 5-foot cube. Okay. Never mind.
I mean, you could put up like a little wall, like almost like an image
Around us?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Just
you know,
put a
just
curtain
just
around
for
us.
a tiny amount of hand holding as you're new to spellcasting. I mean, you could definitely I could see him as Gra lets him up, you just immediately turn his head towards this other thing and abracadabra some illusion behind him where the bodies were.
Yep. That's the goal.
Sure. Okay, you can have that one.
Thanks for holding my hand.
All right, so that happens.
Okay.
And you sort of bustle him forward.
Oh, you wanna go find treasures down the road this way?
Yes, take us to the rest of the party.
Other friends were heading towards the center of town.
Yes, friends. Let's go.
Okay. The father and mother figures kind of look at you nervously, like, and just sort of protect the kids between them. And as Grits kind of moves past them and between you all, looking back at you, I was like,
Prisoners, good. Yeah, pay extra for prisoners sometimes, yeah?
Yeah, prisoners, that's a great point. Why don't you escort our buddy up the road a little ways and I'll bring the prisoners along quite shortly.
Good idea, yeah. More free hands for Grits to steal things.
Kind of like starts like eagerly heading down the trail in front of you. What are you all doing? How are you proceeding? Like, this guy is basically eagerly kind of like looking back like a puppy dog almost. And as he gets to the intersection, is like clearly heading towards this roadway that goes between the trees towards this big intersection with the stream and then the buildings up ahead.
Don't let him.
I just want. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dave.
Don't let him get too far ahead. And I think we need to tell the family that they need to head south, away from all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get out of town.
Out of character. It was actually this is Dave's suggestion.
Yeah.
I don't want to take credit for it, but like we come up with these guys and just get in with them again, and then we could just hopefully slaughter them from the inside. Trojan horse these guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
bring
at
one
least-
brave.
Just so you know.
At least scout, like
Yeah.
to see if it's all kobolds or like to see what kind
Okay.
of group it is.
All right. So here's the one and last sort of thing I'm going to try to be hand-holdy out of character DM mode on. So just to make sure that the picture is clearly painted, you're in a town that seems to be slowly like just pressing in with like these raiders and these fires. The dragon, for whatever reason, has not just burnt the town to the ground, right? And it's very hard to gauge from a distance whether people that you see silhouettes of in the distance in the night, because it's pretty much like it's the sun's down at this point. It's getting dark enough that it's getting harder to make things out, especially with like the fires and the smoke everywhere. But it's going to be hard to tell for you all from a distance whether someone is a villager or a raider. That being said, you've got a group of family that a terrified family that you've rescued that is very eager to try to find a way to get to the keep. And they've emphasized that time is of the essence. This is a very time-sensitive evening. And at this point, some of Leosin's worst fears are coming true. Your mission at this point has now shifted into survive the night until reinforcements come the next morning.
Okay.
Or, depending on you and your nature, survive the night and try to save as many people as possible. But the most logical course of action, just generally out of character speaking, is probably to get to the keep or somewhere else that's even remotely defensible against the dragon if it does decide to attack.
Okay.
And that's it. I'm hands off beyond
no,
there.
I understand.
That's just in terms of making
we
sure everything's very clear.
We heard from Krennic's scouting that there are more bandits up ahead.
Yes.
That we're gonna.
There are
and that
people
there's-
up ahead moving quickly around the buildings. In terms of insight, you would lean towards the side of probably looters or raiders, but you can't tell for sure.
Okay. The reason why I thought this was cool is because then we could Trojan horse these guys on our way to, because we're gonna have to get to the keep at some point.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea at all.
Okay.
I just wanted to, like, before we moved on, I just wanted to get my last sort of speaking beyond the DM screen moment done and over
I
with.
have, before we jump back in, tell me how much dark vision plays an effect on what we can and cannot see.
Yeah, so
'cause I have that
you would
too.
still have, so with dark vision, no matter what range you have on it, so basically it's dim light right now, and you can see in dim light as if it were actually bright light. You can't discern color in that darkness, only shades of gray. But yeah, I mean, you should have.
So
There's like
pretty
buildings on fire.
Other than
in
it being,
town, right?
yeah, there's buildings on fire.
It's totally dark.
No, that, and it is a very bright moonlight, and it's only just recently gotten dark out. So there's still that sort of twilight kind of. Or is it twilight or dawn? Yeah, twilight. Fucking brain.
Magic hour.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not terribly hard to see. It's more of a distance thing than anything. And most of these guys that you saw, Krennic, are dressed, like I said, not unlike yourselves. Like, there's no clear markings or style to their garb. Like, they're very much just dressed like sellswords, adventurers, or soldiers, or people. You know, like, there's nothing super distinct about them from that distance that you could tell. Okay.
So, are we going towards the keep, or are we going towards the group? Alright, I just want to get a kind of...
Well, I think
here.
we should go to the keep, but that the group is in the way, right?
So
Across
do
the
we-
river.
Depends on where you go.
Do we need the
Guess we'll
kobold
sneak
then?
off.
You are here. Let me
You
add.
don't technically need this cobalt for
No.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grits is an idiot.
Oh, is that his name? Ritz?
Grits.
Yeah.
Grits. What a G.
Oh,
Is he wounded?
poor guy.
No.
All his friends are dead, and he doesn't even notice.
Oh.
There you go. There's a pin marking the keep there. No real details for now, but.
Before they get too far away, Boric looks up, realizing the dire necessity of getting to the keep and maybe not dallying about with the guys. He casts Toll the Dead. And instead of bells that the kobold hears, it's going to be the sound of hammers on anvils.
Love that.
What's the range on that? 60 feet.
What the hell?
Wow. You only have to look a man in the eyes, huh?
Well, more like the plan changed.
Okay. Perfect. And just for, well, I guess I'll leave him.
I hope he panics as he...
Yeah. And I mean that thing does a good amount of damage, right?
Oh my god, don't kill him.
He's dead.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. He is definitely dead. Okay. While happily like strutting along in front of Nine, like kind of like pointing, that building. He just kind of like his eyes start to bulge out, and he just sort of slowly falls over and slumps down at the intersection of the road.
Alright, new plan. We gotta get to the keep. So I see we're gonna need some scouting.
What about the family?
Well, they'll come with us, of course. I mean, we're going to the keep.
Grodd pipes up. What about this house they were trying to get into?
I mean, we
Hey,
need to
Peter,
get to the keep.
Puts his big hands up to his eyes and he looks.
They look at him like, oh, like we weren't trying to get to the house. We were just running between them, trying to lose them.
I
Yeah.
knew that. And he keeps walking.
Alright,
Alright,
so yeah,
Correct.
we
Correct.
tell the family, come with us. We'll
Okay.
take you to the keep.
I'm
and
just moving their tokens for simplicity. 'cause
Escort
I'm lazy.
mission.
They're with you for now.
But
As-
we can't go that way. And I
Yeah.
point toward all the enemies.
Perfect. Yeah. I was gonna say as we're moving. Oh shit. Hold on. As we're moving, yeah, you can scout ahead.
Is there a better way to get to the keep than just straight down this road?
You talking to them?
Talking to me.
How
too.
wide is that river? Or that creek?
Oh, it's not wide at all. It's not.
Oh.
It doesn't look very deep either. Like it's probably only about like 3 to 5 feet deep, maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 40.
Max. Okay.
And if we're gonna like, I mean, we can kind of maybe speed up this part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking.
I'm thinking
Get
we
there.
stay along the edge of the trees.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
Okay.
Brannick, if you could occasionally fly up a little bit, not above the tree line, but just scout and make sure there's no enemies
As long as
around.
I don't get noticed by that dragon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't get noticed.
I try to
Sorry,
stealth as I do that, so that way the dragon doesn't see
Ooh, I like
me.
that.
You should totally have advantage on that as an owl
I don't know, I'm white.
that flies silently. I'm gonna send you a video
Super
about
What
how
if- what if
silent they are.
dragons-
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Find it right now.
I'd rather stay focused on the flow. All right,
I get up there
so the plan is you all with the family on foot is going to flank around the backside of that group of trees between that and the stream and head towards the keep.
Correct.
Okay.
Don't watch it now. You just put it in the chat.
Great.
Wait, that's not great.
Dice rolls.
It,
Okay.
We're surrounded.
He's
we're all
rolling to see
dead.
how many of them notice us.
Yep.
All right. So everyone make a stealth check.
Well,
Oh god.
I hope one of you rolls really well.
Oh.
Dude, I
That is
haven't rolled
not
well
bad.
this whole day. Okay, there we go.
Oh.
I have
Oh.
disadvantage, so
No.
Oh no.
Okay.
Grah.
What a really big! I can't help it if I step on a tree.
Pussies.
As
Can I wait? Can I use a bonus action right now? Or
Sure.
is this not a bonus action time?
What do you got
Okay.
for me?
Because what I was gonna do, I didn't want to like keep interjecting, but what I was gonna do is gonna fall back with a kid and play one of my pan flute hymns, and I was hoping to cast Bardic Inspiration, but I don't
Okay.
know who I was gonna cast it on until I saw that roll.
Yeah. That
Okay.
probably won't. I won't. Yeah, that's
Okay.
not good. All right, so a lot of you kind of lead in and look back as there's this loud snapping sound as Gra steps on a branch. Krennic, are you airborne or on
Nope.
foot?
I only go up just to make sure that our path is clear, and then I go
Okay.
back down again.
All right.
I'm not staying airborne. No.
As you kind of descend back down, as everyone's sort of grouping up near the shoreline here, you see more clearly now this group. Clearly some kobolds with them. Up ahead at this intersection, definitely looters at this point. And a couple of the C's are just sort of like cultists or humans. You're not sure. And a couple of them look back towards the road and pause for a moment, but continue like sort of overseeing the looting as it was.
Oh, okay. I relay that information to the party. I say we should cross here, and get farther away from that road.
Okay. All right. Let me just check one thing here.
Kind of outlining a path there.
Yeah. I see
Maybe
what
that's
you're
if this hill on the backside is like defilade from them. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't work for that side.
Yeah, I mean, there as you sort of make your way to the other side of the stream and you're looking around, most people are focused on pockets of houses that are a little bit outside of the keep. As far as the barricade goes, most of it is centered around this intersection up here, past those houses. So as far as timing goes, you're able to move pretty quietly. You all, for the sake of simplicity, I'm not going to move every token, managed to maneuver your way through and around most of these raiding parties. But as you do kind of get to the backside, the east side of the keep, you do see the source of the bell tolling, which looks to be like some sort of large gathering hall or maybe temple off to the east, southeast of the keep there. Regardless, as you approach the gates of the walled keep, you're able to bang on the door and kind of get quickly scuffled inside before they close and lock the door behind you. Like, oh, thank God you made it! Not many more have been showing up the past hour. Like one of these guards kind of shuffles you in.
Hey, you guard! Hey, the bell tolling. What was that from? To the east.
Ah, it's from the sanctuary.
The sanctuary. And what did
does it
people
mean?
congregate?
One of
there?
our holy house. It's a house dedicated to the goddess Shantae.
Did you say a holy house? Right, good. Alright, open this fucking door. I'm going back out.
We have to go. We have to go. Are they in trouble?
Wait, my lord. He kind of stops you as you're scuffling in with the family. I'm just gonna go ahead and move people inside the
Let me
walls.
tell you a little something about the stubbornness of dwarves. Laddie, you better move out of my way before we have an exchange of words.
He's kind of looking at you like he was like sort of in this like half salute. He says, "Sir, my Sergeant Marcus, sir, just like you, my family's out there, but I've been stationed here inside the walls."
Alright, that's great for you. I'm proud of you for being stationed in the walls. Now you let me out.
And you kind of hear like a stubbornness of dwarfs, you say? And there's this big, red-bearded, staunch fucking guy who comes waltzing out into the courtyard. He says, give me a second, I have to load the thing.
Can I tell from the voice if it's a dwarf?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a dwarf.
Oh, it's
despite-
a dwarf.
Oh,
And a
let me
big,
guess.
bushy, iron beard.
Escobar.
Oh, he is iron beard.
Ooh.
Well,
Says,
that's not...
says that's my name's Escobert. I'm the Castellan of the keep here. I
Escobert,
can't do
my
it.
name is Ulrich. And we seem to be a guest at your humble keep here. However, I hear bells tolling, and it sounds like your people need some aid.
Aye. I'm sure
Right.
they do. And he says, wait, friend. We can't be fools about this, can we?
It's a holy house. What
And
do
he
you
glares.
expect me to do?
He fucking glares at you and he says there's a draglin circling above and patrols all around. Now, I've been speaking with the governor up on the parapets up top of the tower there. I'd implore you to join me and let us speak and think upon this like reasoned adults. We must be very careful. Many of our soldiers are out there and at risk. Family members like Mark Guth here are out there in the field, still hiding in their homes. Says, take a moment. Let's get this family in safely, and let's share some words.
Ulrich, this is a waste of time. We need to go.
I'm curious about how persuading he is actually being to me right now.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's find out.
Ulrich, we have no time for this.
So-
You Count Dracula?
Critic, which way are you? Which way are you leading?
Back to the
We're-
door.
He's being pretty fucking persuasive. I don't. Let's see.
Alright.
I don't know. It'd be against your
Krennic, listen.
brain farting.
It would be foolish of us. I know.
And he like grabs him.
He's like, I know. It pings my heart. But we have to be wise about this. There is a dragon overhead. We could very well be risking all.
Do
It
I?
says,
is there anything fishy about Escobert?
No, not at all. Not at all. He says, look, we're not planning on opening these gates very much more throughout the night. We're gonna start. He kind of goes on to describe how they're planning on completely barring and locking down the gates. He says,
There could be more.
but I
families out
have an idea that I've been debating with the governor.
Alright, well, you can tell me about it on the way to the governor. Let's go.
All right, and he kind of takes you towards the tower and starts marching up towards the top. He says, "Look, we need a way in and out of the keep, and I know it hasn't been used in years, but there's an old tunnel down in the storage area. It's an old, narrow tunnel, leads out from the cellar, spills out towards the church. on the other side of the stream. And you can kind of visualize it a little bit if you look at your map. But he's describing basically an old fucking streamway that leads all the way out from the keep. He says, I've been trying to convince the governor that if we can get some soldiers down there to clear it out, God knows what's down there, but if we can clear it out and get to the other side, and he kind of jingles a bunch of keys. I've got a bunch of old keys that purportedly unlock the gates and the sewer hatch down there. He says, I'm happy to give it to you, but let's speak. And you kind of get up to the top, and you see the governor standing before him. He's like, it's a good plan. And he's kind of like nodding. And he's like, perhaps you all would be willing to undertake this plan. Who are you lot? Anyway, you don't look exactly like the rabble outside the walls.
Well, that's the thing. We're not from round here, but we've come to help.
With the Harpers and Order of the Gauntlets.
Yeah, that we are.
He kind of
We're here to help.
Kind of cocks an eyebrow at you all a little bit in disbelief and just out of character. When you guys got your initial ranks, you do have some sort of insignia, whether it's like a ring or a pin that you could display.
Yeah, Auric presents his...
We all present our shit.
Yeah, very low rank.
Badges.
Says, by the graces of Shantae,
This is a boon. This is a blessing. He says, look, Escobart's plan is a good plan. The old tunnels haven't been accessed in nearly 30 years, no doubt. Just chocked full of old crates, barrels, who knows what else. Probably some fucking rats. He says, if you all can clear it, here, give him the keys. And Escobar kind of like reluctantly takes one of the many rings of keys that dangle off of his belt and hands them to you. He says, it's one of these. And there's like 6 different old rusted keys on there.
Hey.
He says, if you can clear it out and... Oh no, Robot Dave. If you can clear it out and open up the passageway there, it's not very wide, it's not ideal, but it could be our own secret pathway in and out of the keep. I implore you, go out there. If you wish to go out and beyond towards the sanctuary once you clear it, great. If you want to stop back in afterwards and reconvene with us, we'll be here doing what we can for the survivors and trying to fortify the walls.
Listen, you just have to survive until morning. There's reinforcements coming. There's hope in the dawn.
He kind of lets out a big sigh. Escobert gladly, though maybe just a little reluctantly, hands you the keys. And he says, I'll show you the way. And he says, whenever you're ready. And you kind of have, they kind of gesture like, make this your place, your home. But Escobart's... What's that?
What color was the sky when we came in? You said
it was
dark, but...
Yeah. It's probably like it's probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours past sunset.
Was it like I don't know, a red sky perhaps on the sunset?
I'm not following.
Red Sky
It's
at
more of
night.
a bardic thing.
Okay.
I don't know if that was a thing that it was.
Red sky means much blood will be spilled.
Oh, there was definitely a pinkish reddish hue to the sunset as it crested down past the horizon line. All right, so Escobert he kind of goes, he's like, I'm the Castellan here, keeper of the castle, keep if you will. Anything I could do for you, you let me know. Friends of the Harpers and the Order. Wow. And kind of he's looking at you. He's like, maybe you could show some of our soldiers a thing or two. We're not used to activities like this. And he kind of like looks up towards the silhouette of the dragon, just sort of cresting past the full moon. Either way, he takes you all down. He says, the big one, looking at Gra, might have some trouble, have to really squeeze in to get through the tunnel, but you could probably file in single file like through the tunnel if you clear it out. It should let out on the other end of the stream, and he kind of like, puts a spot over there on your map a little bit.
How long is this tunnel?
Yeah, you know, it's about 70 feet.
What's the matter? Are you a bit claustrophobic?
Just a little.
All right.
Don't worry, you've got a dwarf guiding you.
Who's taking the keys from Escobar the Red?
I feel like Oric should.
Oh, I'll take it.
Mending.
I should definitely not take those.
Gry, you should just fucking barrel your way down this hallway and clear it.
Yeah, should I just go first? And just run?
As some point of pride, as he's handing the keys over and just sort of getting ready to part ways, he kind of like goes on to tell you, like,
The tunnel's main function, it was a secret means of collecting water from the stream during a siege. But I bet we can double it up as a sally port.
which I've just recently learned is the name for like a secret tunnel that gives defenders of the siege. It's basically a secret tunnel for people to get in and out of the keep during a siege.
Nice.
Cool.
He says, it's never actually been used because we've never been besieged, but,
The tunnel should still be there. Anyway, hands you the keys and kind of walks off.
Before he goes and opens the door, he wants to just look at each person and be like, "Are we all good with this? This could very well cost us our lives."
Do we want to speak with anybody else before we do this?
Bra kind of scratches his chin, like, why was he so easily relieved of his keys if he needed help to fend off the rest of the people?
He had like 8 more rings of keys. He implied that this old rusted ring of keys was for this old cellar that they never really use anymore.
And I'm just
Pretty
talking about.
trustworthy.
I don't know if Gra picked up on that, but a couple of you definitely did.
Do we, out of character, I know Tarba is the governor. Do we want to make a visit to him before we start clearing, or do you think that?
He was the one who was like sort of joining in on that conversation.
Oh, he was. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
the blue cloaked fellow with the
Gotcha.
The goblet who was pacing up on the parapets.
Okay.
And he is definitely
Those two
more
fuck.
fancily dressed, but he seemed like a genuinely concerned older man who was fairly intelligently trying to just think of every angle before sending his people out into the field. As in terms of general impressions go, I mean, who knows?
Well, if we're all good, I say let's do this.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Alrighty. You get down here into the thing, and there are just mildew crates. I mean, whatever's in the contents of these things is either long gone or just completely fucking useless. Clearly has not been used in at least 20 years or more, as they've described. Like, there's cobwebs everywhere. It's just disgusting. You can kind of hear as you like sort of go down into the cellar through like the hatch door. Apologize for the smell, and it just wafts up over you.
Oh, God, this is so bad.
You get down, and like we're just gonna use the town map here. What is the single file marching order as you try not 1, 2, or finally 3 keys and open this very rusted and noisy gate? Just,
I feel like once the door opens, Grod needs to be the front man.
What are the dimensions of the hole?
I mean,
minor
like,
problem.
you are going to be like this.
Like, I'm not moving quick forwards or backwards.
No.
at all. Okay.
I
I'll go
foresee-
first.
Well, I foresee
you can
minor
move-
problem
Yeah.
is that you can't see in the dark, my friend.
Mm.
And then,
It is quite dark.
as he says that, I look over my shoulder and I pull off my battle axe and I poke it forwards and I smile.
Well, it's the blind leading the blind. Let's do it.
Okay. So no torches are
will
being
take
lit.
up the rear.
Is there any light spilling over my shoulders, or am I just completely like blocking the
Wait, sorry.
hole?
Is there a light source right now? I missed that.
Yeah, that's what he's asking.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. No.
Like,
No.
Like,
There's
you
no
could
light
not
down
see anything in front of me
there.
if I was going down
This
first.
is a tunnel underground, and there was like a hatch to a basement almost. Like that stairs that came down into the cellar.
God.
And yeah. There's no light spilling down into this dark, rank, webby tunnel.
Oric is gonna just walk up, not beside him, but close enough to be like, all right, a little to your left. Oh, no, to the right. There you go. Keep going. All right. Oh, watch out. There's a giant boulder. Yep, that's it. Just squeeze. No, you're gonna have to squeeze around it on the left side. No, your other left. Get to the other left.
Okay. And that carries on for some time. You all
Yeah.
single file.
Yeah.
All right. Slowly but surely, Krennic.
Sure.
Can you make a wisdom saving throw? Oh, you already did?
No.
Oh, no, wait, that's something else. Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Yes, you can.
All right, you don't feel great about this, but you're at least in good company, and allegedly this is not a very long tunnel.
Holding it together.
Do we hear any like hootings or like?
No.
Just
Oh,
nervous
from him?
ones.
Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely. There's definitely some hot breath blowing around in this single file line.
Growling.
So, give me a second.
Hear what sounds like
As you get further and further along, and in character, it's hard to tell. You can still hear a very distant bell tolling, but above that, you hear. Turn that bell. You hear the sounds of water getting closer, indicating that you must be getting at least kind of close to the stream. And you approach a grate, a big wrought iron rusted grate. You can kind of see. You can see with some light now. Like there's enough light spilling in from the water's edge. This grate, and so if you can imagine, it's not very clear on the map, but like this old stone tunnel sort of winds on, and like any sort of like sewer thing, kind of spills out into a small open room. Which then has this like very large sewer grate and a small like gated door in front of it. So there's like this big sewer grate with like a door, and then your tunnel right here, kind of opening up right before that. The first door seems to stick quite a bit as you try every single key, but eventually with enough jiggling and wiggling, it opens up. But let me see. Gra with disadvantage, and Auric, since you're near the front here and you're helping him. Auric, you regular style. I need both of you to make a perception check.
I hit the disadvantage button.
Yes, you do.
And what did you say?
And then a perception check.
There it is. Open it. What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for the roll. Hup.
Okay. You see nothing but like a small square pool in front of you, like, yeah, we made it! Like splashing through, like there's the pool, and then there's like this big sewer, like these bars with like this door in front of you. And very excitedly, you go just splashing on ahead, right as you, Auric, kind of see movement in the shallow pool of water.
Hey, get out of the water! Grow, come back to me, come on, there's something there!
He urgently whispers.
Yeah, so we'll say like this line right here is kind of like where the square room is. If you can imagine, there's like an equal thing on both sides there. So you all kind of butt up against the edge of the tunnel here. And Gra, before you have a chance to react, you kind of step down and feel like this flurry of movement just all through the water around both of your big, thick ankles. And Auric, you see this movement in the water and kind of get a little bit nervous immediately. Everyone roll initiative.
Oh, great.
Oh no, we're trapped!
Yeah, so basically on the opposite side of this pool is this sewer grate that kind of lets out into the stream.
And my initiative.
No way
tonight.
else but to fight through.
All right. Gra, on account of not catching this, you unfortunately get skipped the first round.
Oh.
But you kind of hear it more clearly now, and you hear it so clearly that it's a little bit strange at first because you thought like, did I just hear a rat? No, that can't be a rat. There's too many chirps and squeaks and bites. Are they biting me? And what you see, in fact, are numerous swarms of rats, just swirling all around this dirty, dank sewer water.
Oh.
2 swarms, in fact.
2 of those? Not just 200 rats.
It's a rat king!
400 dead rats. I've got my feet in them.
Yeah, you do. 9, you stand at the edge of the smaller, very narrow tunnel, but you know the dwarf is clear enough of you that you could push past if you wanted to. You've only just sort of heard like the chirping sounds of all these rats kind of splashing and surging through the water.
Okay. Well, rats typically don't like fire, so I'm gonna cast a minor illusion of fire all around Gra, in hopes that it frightens them away from him.
Okay. Is this an image?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's like sound or thing.
I play my growl to do it.
Okay.
The noise it makes.
Alright, one sec.
I don't know.
Okay.
Do I roll that? I can't roll.
No, I don't think there's any roll for it. Okay.
Incredible.
You notice one swarm seems to surge past him and go towards the dwarf, but another one seems unfazed.
Okay.
Okay. Are you doing anything else?
Oh shit! That's not everything I wanted. Yeah. Well, no, I guess I'm not. I'm gonna get my claws ready for close range.
Okay. All right. So you're ending your turn here.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. The swarm that is avoiding the illusionary fire just surges out of the water, Auric. I mean, you knew something was coming, but it's just like one after another, just this arm of rats just surges together in a hive formation towards you and starts crawling up your leg, biting and biting and biting.
And a cat.
Yeah. What's your AC?
My AC is 19.
Holy shit,
Dang,
dude.
Jesus.
Chomp,
Chomp,
more
chomp,
than
chomp,
me.
chomp. All the clicking sounds of just numerous teeth biting against chained mail and pieces of armor and shield as they like just swarm over your body and out and down back the other side, biting all along the way. You amazingly take no damage. I don't know what the fuck that is.
What the fuck?
Mutate. You gain life.
Wait. So are they treated as one creature?
Oh yeah, they are.
It's a swarm.
It's a swarm
are-
creature.
You are buffed. You take -2 damage.
So while they're doing that, can I do something in response?
Not until your turn. No. They provoke no opportunity attacks as they swarm over and around you.
Okie dokie.
I just ticked.
It'll
It
be
felt
your
weird.
turn.
Felt weird.
Order, Krennic.
Are any of them near me?
I mean, you saw past the cat them surge around the dwarf. Since
they're
9
around
is
the dwarf.
yeah, since 9 is friendly, you could sort of squeeze past him out the tunnel if you so chose.
Yeah, I'm gonna move forward to try to get next to Auric.
Okay.
Well, get within reach of them, basically. And then I yell to Auric, Auric, hold still! I'll take care of this! And then I just whack!
Okay.
Not
like a
on
flutter.
The swarm surges past, and you manage to whack away at some of them, doing 7 points of damage.
And then I
Wow.
use boot to the head to the
Okay.
other side.
Also hits. Whoa, max.
Flurry of blows. I mean, not the real flurry of blows.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm monk-like.
You manage to just whack, poke, and smash a bunch of them, diminishing the swarm into a much smaller quantity of rats, but they still move past you. Okay. You holding there?
I want to make room for 9 to get through, so maybe I can move over to the side here.
Okay.
So, do I know anything about swarms? Like, are they vulnerable? I heard something about fire, and I saw the illusion of fire. Does it look like they're reacting to it? Is there any other way we can damage them more?
I mean, nothing that you can tell. I mean, you can just immediately tell that they swarm so quickly and they spread so much that, like, you know, basically they can move freely in on and around you without really you being able to do much about it other than try to smack at them. But yeah, there's no opportunity attacks. So yeah, I mean, basically they can occupy like the same square as you, or vice versa. No, but nothing beyond that at this moment.
Awesome.
Okay. The initial swarm that leapt at Gra is just wrapping and winding their way and completely covering your large body to the best of their ability, biting all along the way. And those bites mean nothing against the scaly armor that your friends have draped upon you. Very clearly illustrating their selling points that they made for you back in El Toro. One sec. Bites. Oric!
Well, they're about to hear the sound of hammers filling the air. And they're about to die.
Roll the dead. So since this the swarm of rats 10 is already wounded, I get to roll a d12.
Oh, okay.
Or, you know, that's great.
Nailed it.
Boom, boom, boom.
Paladin.
You once more shrink the rats down to there's really only a few left in the swarm. As some of them just like there's this bell toll that almost sounds like the distant church bells you heard. There's this gonging sound as several of the rats just drop dead and fall down below the sewer water surface. Are you holding here?
I'm gonna like push out of the way a little bit closer to Gra.
Okay.
So 9 has access. And I want
Okay.
there to be like spectral hammers when that happens, just like
Okay. Gra, the rats are swarming all around you in this tiny, tiny space. What do you want to do?
So there's like a camera cuts up close to Gra's eyebrows and head. He's like, 10,000 rats doing the job of one. This makes no sense. And then the camera pans down to his mouth. He smiles, and then pans down to the ground, and his iron comet drops down to the ground.
Okay.
Bashes at
Just-
the middle. Yep. Unworthy.
Okay. Roll to attack.
Help to guide me. I don't see the thingy I'm supposed to.
Go to your action sheet. There's the iron comet with a +6 thing.
Oh,
Double
there we go.
click it.
Thank you.
Oh my. Okay.
Inferior.
So go ahead and roll damage on that.
Nailed it.
So with one just drop of your big massive spiked ball that Oryx crafted for you, you just see the swarm kind of disperse and spread out as the middle of it is just completely chunked and smashed. There's this dark crimson blood filling the sewer water. About half the rats are just destroyed in your first attack.
Nice.
Just straight up just drops it straight down and it
Yeah,
kills
just-
like half of them. Like you haven't even attacked yet.
Critical
you just, like,
drop.
Dropped it.
Okay, are you... Well, you're engaged in melee, so I imagine you're holding here, otherwise they would bite you for free. 9. What would you like
That's
to
me.
do? That's you?
Alright, yeah. Let's move forward. I'm trying to see on this map here.
Do you need a sync? A screen sync?
Yeah, oh yeah, thank you.
Just let
I
me
just
know.
have a
if
hard
you
time
need that.
scrolling
Let
with
me
this
know. Let me know.
fucking stupid finger tab. I don't have a mouse with me.
I'm gonna send you a link for an awesome Bluetooth mouse I use for mine.
Mm,
It's great.
okay, thank you. Okay, so they were crawling all over Oric, is that right? then-
They were, yeah. They bit and ran past him, and then Krennic karate chop smashed a bunch of them, and Gra just smashed a bunch of them that were swarming around him.
Alright, so Rat's 10. I'm going to leap forward with cat claws exposed and just try tearing up what I see there.
Okay.
Oh man, they're like your natural prey too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Pounce.
Pounce the hell out of those things.
Okay.
Good advantage.
No.
You know, I'm doing the cat call and shit.
Hell yeah.
Alright, let me put this in my...
You like get distracted playing with one of them.
have it, bring it in your mouth over to
That's
Oric.
to say, I'm gonna... Once they're dead, it's gonna be in my mouth.
Oh,
Okay, fuck this thing. Okay, so there's that.
oh my god.
Oh, what?
You do so.
Wow.
The rolls tonight.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, you have one or more of the rats like limp and dead in your mouth, just like a proud cat would.
And I'm just like playing with the dead carcass of one. As they do.
Oh my god.
That happened.
Oh, you got bigger.
I
got-
didn't
I
mean to
got a
make you
little bigger.
bigger. I didn't mean to
Aw.
I was trying to make the rats
Aw.
smaller.
Tiny again.
That would have been
Sorry.
awesome if you got a
Sorry.
little bigger because of that.
Sorry,
It's like
buddy.
eating a mushroom in Mario.
um, okay, Krennic, it is your turn.
It's working. I'll do it. I'll do it again. Two-handed.
Oh my god.
Oh, so close.
You guys are
I
wasting
can't be
all the
part of
good
the
rolls
20
on
club.
rats.
Swack.
Sorry,
and then
are you
stomps
are you
with
moving
unarmed
to,
attack.
you moving in on that guy?
Yes. That's it. Yeah, sorry, that was
Okay.
what I was trying to do.
Both hit,
Ugh.
bringing you to 13 points of damage on that guy.
Karate chop.
Surprisingly, still not enough as the rats sort of disperse and scurry and climb up on you.
Oh no. For no points of damage.
Oh man, just not strong enough. Like they're biting at you, and you manage to like quickly smack them off as like they're one by one. Like the diminishing herd tries to crawl upon you and bite you. But you're able to avoid damage. Oric.
Alright, I'm gonna just, like, I want him to, like, flip his hammer upside down and just walk around and do, like, almost like think of it like a giant hamper. Like, kink, kink, kink. Just killing all of the
Okay.
rats.
All right. Roll to attack.
And I guess he's using two hands. Because I assume he has to hold both of it like this. If it takes an action, then no, it'll just be one hand.
Yeah, I was almost imagining like at this point because they're like sort of swarming around your allies, you would have to like smack them and smack and smash.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Smack and smash.
Smack and
Perfect.
smash. In their weakened state, it happens to be just enough of a smack. Was that even a D20? That was damage.
No, that was the plus. Oh, I did the attack roll on my warhammer. They said +4.
Yeah, well, oh. Wait, am I blind? Oh, shit. Okay, no, yeah, alright. Well, anyway, it does hit. Sorry, I just thought you rolled damage.
I mean, unless I'm wrong.
No. I think the graphic just looked weird enough that it looked
Poor
like a
rat.
D8 or something.
It stepped on.
Anyway. Oh, yeah. Alright, you managed to smack and smash the last remaining rat. You now stand in a pool of sewer water filled with the blood of verminous, strange, foul sewer rats, just little corpses dripping everywhere. And in front of you is this large sewer grate that appears to be like there's a door in front of it, but it appears to be almost completely rusted shut.
Like a key.
You can you can try some of the keys you have.
Like, if the key
Like-
doesn't work, when you try the gra.
You try
Yeah.
Graz key, and then he flexes.
But he walks up like a janitor. Well, he before he does that, having noticed previously, rats just kind of jumped out. He just wants to take a quick
Take a
kind of look
moment.
around, make sure there's not any kind of weird, I don't know, dwarvish traps or nonsense.
Are we still in darkness? Do we have light?
There's you're back to sort of dim
Moonlight.
light.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. So,
Trying keys.
yeah,
That's the deal.
you don't really spot anything else within this sort of small water holding area, this little pooled room.
Yeah. I go to open the door.
You find that none of the keys are working.
None of the what?
Of course.
None of the keys are working.
Of course. None of the keys work.
Yeah. You
We're
jingle.
trapped!
You jingle all of them. You can make an insight check with your tinkering abilities here.
Insight or investigation?
Up to you. Actually, yeah, investigation's probably a little more appropriate.
Well, I have. If it's at that insight was to tell if people were.
You are correct. Dungeon mastering is hard. It's investigation.
Even though I should keep my mouth
Investigate
shut
it.
because I have +3 to insight and
Nope.
+2 to investigation, but
Make the check.
Investigation time.
I already did.
Come on, Batman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright, you can tell after examining some of the keys in the lock on here that none of these keys look like they work, and it looks like it wouldn't matter if they did. Like, this thing is so unused and rusted shut that it's going to take either a clever or a heavy hand to make this thing open.
Can Gra
heavy
wants to think back to himself. He's seen many a door. He's smashed many a door open himself. But he looks at this particular door. Has he seen? How does it stack up to any other door he's ever seen before?
It doesn't look too intimidating, but Krennic, as you see Gross sizing this up, you kind of hear with your owl ears what sounds like a distant group of voices sort of carrying over the stream that spills into this room.
I yell out, "Yes, quiet!"
Sounds
quiet.
like it came somewhere over this way.
I hear
Oh.
voices right outside. If we make too much noise, we'll lose the element of surprise.
Don't suppose any of you have any kind of lock picking.
I don't remember if I do now.
You know
was
what though?
As fast as I can.
Hey, let me hold on. And he pulls out like a couple little tiny pieces of metal and starts like kind of bending and shaping.
Oh.
And he's gonna use a raking, right, to rake the key here. And well, you said the key doesn't matter, right? The lock doesn't matter.
I mean, it's definitely rusted shut. Like, you feel like you would need something to like really fuck with the lock. So I mean,
Fuck with the lock, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So he wants to. He's improvising and creating his own little mini lock picking set.
Okay.
Ooh.
And he's gonna use the raking technique. Gonna make sure he has his little
Rake
anchor
the
here,
shit out of it.
and he's gonna, and then pull it over, and then he's gonna get Gra to push on it.
Okay.
A little teamwork.
So we've never really used it much, but the way that tools that you're proficient with work, Basically, it means, like in the same way that your proficiency bonus gets added into certain skills, you would get to add that to whatever type of check I determine the stat is for this particular scenario. It's very per scenario. So using like your tools and your proficiency bonus with those tools, I would say if you're trying to put something together and then kind of just like, like hammer this thing in delicately but with some force, let's go +4 between the 2 from strength and the 2 from proficiency. So d20, and then I'll just add the 4 to it. Ooh, good roll, sir.
This night.
So with the night's just starting. With not a loud, a fairly quiet but quick, like dink. You kind of just see this big flake of rust come dropping off like near the latch of the lock, and this thing won't be lockable again with this current lock, but the door is still very much intact, very closable and sealable, and you, as quietly as possible in this scenario, manage to open this thing. And as you do so, just seeing this mount of rust just fall off, you very carefully start to pull it, and you think, oh, it's pretty squeaky and rusty. And since you rolled so high, I mean, you'd probably like squirt a little oil on there or do something. I don't know. All right, so you've succeeded in your task.
Very nice.
In that you've cleared the tunnel and opened a sally port of sorts
Quietly
through this sewer grate.
Yeah,
as you all look out, you can't make heads or tails on the number of them, but just moving past the tree line and over the water was at least 4 to 5 raiders moving and herding towards the northeast. Could be 5 or more. You didn't see the head of this pack. You just sort of saw like these last 5 figures moving around the tree line towards some of the buildings in town there.
They go that way.
So,
Do we know how many?
4 or 5.
I mean, at least 5. You know that along this tree line and down the stream is the cathedral, the sanctuary, as they called it.
Okay.
But through the trees.
Do we take them out?
Gra looks back like they don't look like any sort of challenge to me, and then he like shrugs like, I don't care, I'll kill them if you want.
I mean, they might find some other family, and we could save them by taking this group out.
But the only problem, Krennic, is that the sanctuary might already have a whole group of people that could be taken out right now.
You're right.
We must fight for the greater good.
I can't make this decision.
9, what do you think?
No, I already said my piece. I'm saying I can't make this decision. I'll go with whatever the group says.
Oh no!
Nine's yours perk up.
They're still in a
Follow the
holding
sound of
pattern,
screams.
but now swooping down on a tighter perimeter within the town, like let's say on the outskirts of this circle. You hear numerous villagers cry out as this dragon lets forth blasts of lightning from its mouth, scorching some of the rooftops of some buildings and setting others ablaze. Not particularly diving in after anyone special, but just sort of kind of before he just coasts back up almost nonchalantly and goes back to holding and circling the sky above you.
Okay, well...
Alright,
Get to
well,
the sanctuary.
let's get to the sanctuary.
Yeah,
Let's try to
sanctuary.
avoid troops while we can. I say we flirt along the edge of this tree line.
I'd say Gra or 9 probably has the most likely set of wilderness experiences in terms of like survival.
Yep.
Is that fair? Is
Yeah,
that fair?
what's my elevation right now?
It's pretty low, but correct me if I'm wrong. Why don't you both make survival checks?
Oh, I don't have. Oh,
I don't care. Yeah, I mean it's more of just like some of your travel experience. Just bring it up.
Oh, the elevation's
Makes
very
sense.
low. Oh boy!
we're barely gonna do
All right,
it.
never
buddy.
mind. All right, so how are you guys proceeding?
Let's see.
Like along the stream?
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
Well,
that's what-
Wait, is there like lightning striking all around us?
It's kind of like a big, just once around, like blast, 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 and then back to coasting along on his sort of path that he was. But there were definitely cries of death and suffering that went along with that.
Get out the water.
Yeah, if my dad told me correctly, don't stand in water when there's a lightning storm.
Not in water. Next to the trees.
Perhaps we'll go around and not go directly through the water.
As they're discussing this, Gra's eyes peer up into the night sky and see the silhouette of the dragon flying around, shooting lightning out. And he goes, "One day," and he just keeps that in his mind.
Two very different paths.
I'm thinking about this path that does not go through the water at all,
Oh, ever?
and I want to make sure that before that happens, that the group that is direction.
Why don't we just go through the
Yeah,
bush, through the trees?
Okay.
that's what we're gonna do, but I don't want to go through the water.
You stand about in
Okay.
the water, which pours in through this, rusted iron sewer gate.
We're already in the water.
You are in the water, with an open door behind you leading back into the keep. What are you doing going forward from this moment?
Surviving.
Yeah. We're trying to make our way to the sanctuary.
Yeah, I feel like we're hurrying along the river. Just around the river bend is what fucking Nine
Okay.
starts to sing
Okay.
to increase our haste.
All right.
Alright, Gra shrugs and he agrees.
I didn't hear what's happening, but I'm following the grouping.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So you very hastily leave the sewer grate and move along the bank of the stream. How are you moving?
Oh god.
I'm gonna need you to be very specific about how and what you're doing things.
I mean,
Not like
we're
crazy detail.
Stealthily, I feel like we're moving as quick as quiet or as quick as stealth will allow us.
and
Okay.
there's a dragon roaring, so I don't imagine the sound of our footsteps is gonna
Yeah,
be.
no, there's
that
lots
loud.
of distractions around town. Yeah.
But we're still mindful of our surroundings.
Okay.
Yeah,
for-
and peering into the trees. too,
Okay.
when we
Gra
get up
remembers
next to 'em.
the teachings of his father, Hardwood. Remembers frolicking through the forest and learning how to maneuver as if he was a boulder or a tree. This or that, depending on what was looking at him. And he just spins around like he remembers all of that. It's very quiet. For such
Okay.
a large size.
Okay. All four of you just make a stealth check real quick for me, please.
Do I have to?
Hey, you're
To
not
have to
tunneling
let
anymore,
it
right?
linger. Dude,
What is wrong with me? My father. What the fuck did my dad teach me?
I rolled 2 4s. That has to be impressive, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Gra,
You
got a 1.
Yeah,
So what was that about your dad teaching you about being a rock or a tree?
Yeah, his name was Hardwood, and suddenly
Clunk,
in my mind, I start to question, why would they name him Hardwood? Is it one of those ironic names? No, and then I trip on a rock and I fall out of my dream onto the actual forest floor, making a shitload of noise.
Yes, that is accurate. So just as you start to kind of see through the tree line, see the sanctuary over yonder, there's this loud ruckus from Gra, which quickly alerts a patrol just to the north of you, presumably the ones that you saw the tail of. It's a mix of kobolds with a couple humans, and the humans with one of the kobolds, like the trailing three, let's say, like these guys, all quickly look towards the tree line and see silhouettes moving through the trees. Roll initiative and tell me what you're doing all together here.
My character Gra comes spilling out of the trees, but like silhouette style across the moon, just a little bit, like Pixar style. Just as he's yelling "Dad!" and he's skidding across the lawn. That's very specific. On my 14.
Wait, this is initiative?
Niche.
It's ooh, natural 20.
Way to waste your niche.
So it's initiative, but you kind of see the three of these people freezing, and then you kind of hear this. Who goes there?
I would. Can I respond? Or are we?
Sure.
in
Yeah.
initiative time?
The initiative is just sort of placeholder for now.
I'm kind of skidding across the lawn, like "Dad!" like coming out.
Oh, okay. They already see us. Alright, never mind.
Tell them we're part of the raid.
I was trying to. I was gonna put on my disguise, because I can do that as a charlatan, and say, "It's me, Grits. I'm here for the looting."
Everyone's here for the goddamn movie.
That was
I
really good.
want to,
Holy shit.
All right.
deceive them.
Alright, so this big, massive, burly dude comes bursting forth loudly from the forest, and they hear this voice, presumably Grits, coming out from the tree line. So, like, you've got your disguise, are you just, like, hunched over like a hooded kobold or something? Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
I'm hopping around excited, like Grits was when we told him about the treasure. Or about looting.
Just like that.
Oh god.
Yeah.
It's those things we smashed before.
I'm going through all those motions.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
All those shapes.
Okay. Gra, you hear this. Everyone else hears this. 9, make a persuasion check.
Persuasion or deception?
Deception, actually. Thank you.
I have that on the board. Hold on, it's coming.
Welcome to the 20 club, babe.
What?
Oh! You called it. You fucking called it.
2 in a row. That's mathematically impossible.
And one was a
Add that
16.
to the rest of our 20s tonight.
God damn it. I could do shit.
And a shockingly tall kobold kind of calls back, Grit! Grit!
Yeah! It's me. Grit.
You were supposed to meet us back at the road! Oh,
I got tied up.
I can't do it.
Tied up.
Tied? You can't say tied up? You found good stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Who's the big one?
The family ate all the jewels and bread. Got all the good stuff.
Alright, so are you like how are you all positioning everyone but Gra right now as this starts to unfold?
And then I want to tell him. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah?
Can I do that? There's so much more couldn't fit in my pockets. And I point back just way off in the opposite direction, away from the sewers, but past the fort, so that they in hopes that they'd go that way.
So sorry, like that way or that way?
Yeah.
Like northwest?
Let's go directly south.
Directly south. Okay. All right. The rest of you, are you hiding in the tree line still?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The dwarf knows that.
I'm not moving.
Big guy, good smash. That's what I say about Gra as I kind of stay along and inside the tree line.
Okay. You see two of the humans sort of go up to the kobold who was talking. They kind of like they poke him. They say, "Your friend. He knows good treasure." You can see they're trying to talk to him with some level of intelligence. It's almost comical. And like this guy's like, "Yeah, grit's no good treasure." And you kind of see him stroking this this very, very long beard. He's like, well, we didn't find anything in the first house anyway. And he kind of like elbows the other guy. He's like, all right, kobolds, follow us. And you kind of hear him shout to the tree line. And they look at Grod and they say, you found this with grits? And he's looking at Gra.
I elbow Gra. Just shake your head, yes.
Gra, kind of like he was like prone before, coming out of his dream, and then he like kind of slowly kind of goes up like this.
They kind of look at you, almost a little intimidated, and
There's
and
the sparkle eyes,
after
too.
a moment of like them trying to herd kittens, these kobolds kind of like scamper and scurry along like a pack of little puppies behind them as they go sloshing over the river and move past the tree line and head down towards these houses over here behind you.
Are the seas oh, cultists?
Yeah. Well done.
Those guys.
All right.
I want to say to Gra, don't worry, Gra. So's the ones you want.
Alright, Gra goes back into the tree line.
So as you kind of catch your breath for a moment, quickly avoiding this patrol, you see now as you move just a little bit further along. This time, I imagine 9 is carefully guiding the steps of Gra as we get a little bit of progress without any sort of audible noises as you move through the forest towards the sanctuary. Now, as you approach, you see this sort of low stone wall, probably about 3 or 4 feet tall, that rings around the entire building. You can see a couple of the windows have been smashed open, and there is bits of smoke coming out from the building. And occasionally human screams billow forth from the building. But you can tell by the several groups of forces that are now surrounding the sanctuary that they have yet to get whatever it is they're after within the building. And at the very front of the building, at the front doors, over in this direction, a makeshift battering ram is slowly and poorly, to your measure, Auric, being assembled on the roadway in front of the stone wall. You can tell that there's even signs of numerous attempts to try to set the building on fire. Like there's just burnt haystacks all around the base of the building in various portions, doing nothing more than leaving charred bits of hay and maybe a scorch mark along the stone building. So, all that being said, there's clearly a front door, but there also appears to be a back door. And beyond that, there's a small group of forces on the eastern side, kind of in the clearing near the trees, over in this direction. I don't know why it's not staying. And let me go ahead and just make that clear to you. What is where? 1 second. Now, obviously, please use a little bit of in-character power to know what would be occluded by the wall or the building, etc. But that's what you're looking at.
Okay, so that was my question. Like, can we discern who's attacking and how many from our angle of view?
If you spend a little bit of time in here, like a few minutes, and watch them, then yeah, you can kind of see like these guys are sort of milling about, There's like one guy who has like this very prominent, probably the only person that you've seen clearly to this point, who is like clearly donned in some sort of dragon regalia, is sort of overseeing the construction of this quote-unquote battering ram. Others are sort of banging and attacking at the main front doors, and occasionally you see the silhouettes of these lizard creatures moving around in that far clearing.
Okay.
Kind of like
And can
very,
we-
very
Holy
large
fuck.
kimono dragons or something.
Yeah.
Can we hear anything coming from the house that they're besieging? Like
Occasionally the bell does toll and people do scream. And again, like some of the buildings have been smashed and smoke is coming out, but you can tell that they've been sort of barricaded and boarded from within with furniture, church pews, who knows. I'm imagining you all have to get a little bit closer to see this stuff. So yeah, what do you want to do? You can take some time to study the situation, go in guns blazing. It's up to you.
Ross says, this does not seem like a fair fight.
No,
Should intervene.
no, it doesn't seem like a fair fight. I say we either go to the south or we sneak up around the north side and try to draw away Dragon Claw and then just kill him.
Oh. From behind him.
Well, we'd have to draw him away, yeah. I mean, we couldn't just aggro him in front of all of his men.
It makes no difference to Grod. Their spines will snap.
Well, let's do it.
But
You're
which
thinking,
one?
Like, we go from here to
Pull him away.
here to here, and then we just attack him?
Now, do
No.
any of us know anything extra about Dragonclaw? Or who his affiliates are?
Oh yeah, don't we have some Dragon Cult guys? I mean, with the dragon background.
So, you, Krennic,
That bitch.
recognize him as fairly equivalent to yourself within the Harpers, right? He is what's considered a Dragon Claw, basically an initiate, a rank 1 member of the cultists, if you will.
He's a nobody.
Well, I mean, he's comparable in power to you, if not
Aw.
greater.
I'm a nobody.
You're all a bunch of nobodies. No, I mean, but this guy stands above the rest in terms of like a lot of the other bandits and mercenary-looking people. This guy dares to have very clearly marked garbs. Everyone else seems to be almost like plain-clothed, trying to blend in.
Yeah.
If anything.
But would it make sense that he's like their leader?
It's pretty clear from him overseeing this battering ram construction that he's sort of like directing people and calling the shots, if you will.
Yeah, he's definitely the leader. I don't know if they'll scatter if we take him out, though.
Grod looks back. Do you think it's fair for against them? And then he looks back, and then kind of questions whether or not he would be leading his friends into danger.
While we're discussing this, for each person who's input something, I'm hoping I could play a little ditty.
Like just because, like just sort of like setting the mood.
Well, I want to start inspiring them one at a time.
Okay. So for the next 10 minutes, they'll each have. All right, cool. Do you want me to just mark it off for you? 3 of them.
Yeah.
You can't inspire yourself, I don't think. Right?
Okay.
So there's a chance that we can draw some of them away if we decided to attack to the south. We'd try to lure them away from the building.
I tell you what. Why don't you all, as you debate this and watch the scene clearly, why don't you all make, let's say, insight check would probably be the most appropriate thing here. Insight or perception, your choice.
Perception.
Fuck me.
I rolled well with this guy.
Might go.
Well, we did get nat 20s on
I
everything.
didn't see yours, 9.
is happening? Oh, the window's just barely in front of it.
You're our hope, Obi-Wan.
Oh, Obi-Wan, damn it.
Critic.
Krennic, other than what you know about the Dragon Claw fella and what you've seen here, you know, it's like the construction site where like some people are actively, you know, working and some are just milling about. These guys at the back door are like just flazing it the fuck up, just like totally hanging out the back door. Clearly there's not much action down here. All of the fires they tried to set failed.
The boss isn't here, basically.
The weakest link, yeah, exactly. The boss is on the other side overseeing a battering ram construction. Like, the weakest link is probably at this south back door.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna suggest you could maybe try to just say there's treasure to the south.
That's what I was gonna say. Grits is still around.
But
You
the
lagged
boss,
on me. I didn't hear what you said.
the boss ordered them to. The boss ordered them to attack.
That's true.
I didn't hear what you said though.
Me?
Grits is still around.
Okay. I see we try to lure them away. Most of them are kobolds, so they'll run for treasure. And then if we have to kill the 2 cultists, we could murder them.
Okay.
Let's do it.
To the south?
Yeah.
south.
Yeah. So I say we go along the tree line.
Yeah.
Okay.
I butter up my disguise.
And
With real butter.
before he goes out, or we really engaging, I want to very quietly cast resistance.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And who are you casting that on?
On 9
Okay.
before he goes out.
Alright.
Dangerous.
So that's your... You'll have to help me keep track. So concentration spells, you can only have 1 active, right? So make sure that we're not doubling up. But right now, resistance is going. 9, I'll say for the sake of argument, like right before you leave the edge of the woods, that's when you're casting your
Yeah.
official
Thanks.
bardic inspiration.
Thank you.
Okay. So, how are you approaching?
Hastily, like,
Kobolds, guy, it's me, Grits. Way lots of loot over here. Come on.
Okay.
and I'm like jumping up and down and like starting to head back the other way.
Are you going over the wall, staying behind it? What are you doing?
I'm gonna
So this is like a stone wall, 3
I'm
feet
gonna,
tall
I'm gonna
or so.
climb up the wall,
Okay.
but I want to make it look like it was harder for me than what it was.
Okay. And then you're gonna pop down the other side and deliver your little speech.
I'm gonna stand on top.
Okay. All right.
Come on, it's over here. Come on, there's 3 buildings. I don't
Alright.
have enough hands.
All right. So since there are fires burning nearby and there's pretty visible light, I need you to make 2 checks here. Right?
Oh,
I
shit.
need you to first deceive them with your disguise and your
Okay.
performance, and then actually persuade them to leave.
And roll to see if you're dead.
That's
Okay.
deception.
They definitely think you're a kobold. And they kind of like, you can see them, you know, like a dog who's sort of well trained and has been told to stay, but there's food on the other side of the wall that they know about. They managed to
Okay.
stay true to their
Can I add to that?
Okay.
I want to cast a minor illusion of just gold all over the floor below me.
Below you?
Look, I can't even keep it in my pocket.
Alright. That's amazing. There's so much I can't hold it.
Okay. And you can technically fill a 5-foot volume cube.
Yeah, just
with stuff.
Straight gold.
Oh my god!
So you just like pouring this out from somewhere?
Yeah. Taking out from my jacket.
Alright,
Here.
alright. I have to pull this up again just for the sake of mentality.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the top right.
So collectively, all of the kobolds, and maybe even one of the two humans, their jaws just drop like, just comically like, boing, like Looney Tunes, fucking, oh my god. So with that in mind,
Yeah.
I'd like you to roll the persuasion check with advantage this time.
Yes. I love advantage.
And it's just coins are just visibly dropping and dropping and
Nice,
dropping.
there you
That was good.
You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 second.
Oh shit. Will you pull that image up of all the stupid kobolds with money?
Yeah.
That's going on my OneNote.
Very quickly, like all of them start heading towards like the pile of coins that you're dropping down here. Even one of the humans joins in with them. Where specifically did you start dropping the illusionary coins?
Right at the foot of the wall I'm standing on.
So like on which side? Which side of it? Sorry, like their side or your side?
Can they see through it? Can they see through the wall?
No, it's like
If I were to drop it
it's
on
like a
their side?
3 to 4 foot wall, just like stacked stones, you know. It's like
Okay.
on.
And the gold can go over it?
Yeah, I mean, they can watch you just like pour it out illusionary.
Oh yeah, then it's going on
coins,
the,
like, over the
not
wall.
their side.
Okay.
The side with my friends.
Okay.
Are we attacking them when they come next to the wall? What are we doing?
They all start sort of like
Isn't that
gathering up around the
Oh my
wall.
God.
Grog kind of chuckles.
One of the humans and one of the cultists, and you can see the human just put his arm out, and you hear like that flack sound as like the kobold tries to run past. It's like, you stay with me. He says, the rest of you, go get the treasure. And you can see them sort of standing. He's kind of like, it's been a boring night for us anyway. But the human and 3 other kobolds kind of just go like gleefully trotting towards the stone wall and start climbing up the wall where you guys are. So you've already rolled initiative prior. I need to know exactly how this is proceeding because these guys are getting ready to climb over the wall towards the coins. And
How
they
tall is the wall?
assuredly will
They're-
want to
okay.
know more about where you got them.
But they are going for the coins. That was my question.
Oh
That
yes,
was-
yes. 5 of them are. 1 human and 1 kobold are staying back to watch the rear door.
So Oric's gonna.
So 9 overheard.
How tall is the wall?
I said 3 to 4 feet.
Oh, 3 to 4,
It's like like field stones stacked and roughly, but sturdy enough.
Well, bros, hopefully you're ready.
Do I have enough time to kind of sneak beside the wall and kind of like get down really low?
You?
Yeah. Probably not, right? No.
Oh, you're like.
I don't know if you
18.
remember you're sneaking.
Well, it depends how far up I stick my butt when I'm crawling, right? Alright, we're gonna.
You guys can
I'm
have
ready.
one quick exchange as 9 looks back towards you and you see a bunch of
Nuts.
them break towards the wall. What do you do?
Grog
One real quick sort of communication of
Okay,
hand
okay.
gestures or words.
gets into sprinter stance.
So if they get over the wall, they're gonna find out it's an illusion. We're gonna have to kill everybody on this side of the wall. If we can keep the next to the building from not knowing that their friends are dying, we may be okay. But if they find out, they're gonna go alert everybody, and we are up a fucking creek.
You know what? I'm gonna
Okay.
give you bonus time because I really have to piss.
Huh?
So,
Okay.
and
I was
unless
thinking a way to hide the noise. I can play some music like they're all having fun. Like they found some
Or
like in the picture
I
that
could-
he has.
Charge through the wall and try to knock all of them unconscious.
charge through the wall,
Yeah.
I think everyone would hear you maybe.
Yeah, but they'll all be dead.
Well, those 4 might be dead,
That's true. I'm just kidding.
but that might be what Crawl does. I don't know.
I wanted to get up close so I could like grab one by its neck by surprise. Just like
Casey, I hate to play this card. Like, should you put him to sleep?
I could.
Like,
I
at the very
thought about
least, if the 2 closest to the wall, even the cultist that's close to us, like, cause we can kill the kobolds pretty easily, but I'm just thinking if they're gonna,
Perfect. I'm doing it.
cause they could alert everybody and we would just be we'd have to fight everybody.
100% out of spell slots.
Yeah, yeah.
So no healing. A lot of CC. Well, I have one more CC sting.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I mean, I can deal massive damage to 1 person, but that's it, and that's
Betty,
a spell
this is
slot.
Krennic, Gra, are you into that?
I'm sorry, what?
yes.
And that way we separate the last 2?
Like, let the kobolds closest to us get over the wall so we can kill them without you having to try to put everybody to sleep.
Sorry. Alright, one more time. Sorry. Just kind of getting all my notes back up here.
So Dave,
I'm
what
so
you're pitching
listening.
is when they climb over the wall, I put them all to sleep.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let all of them get over the wall and put them to
Interesting.
sleep, and then we will
Yep.
try to murder their faces without
and then
alerting.
the other 2 will be by themselves.
Yeah. Let's hope
Gra
this works.
can just
Because
meteorite them or whatever it's called.
Okay. So they're kind of like looking to you expectantly, like coins, like, and you kind of hear them saying, like, as they approach the wall,
Hop down.
So, and they're kind of climbing. So, more coins. You found a big stash? Too much to carry,
Yeah.
you said?
Yeah, everybody come on over here.
Come on, let's go.
right?
And then as soon as the last foot drops off the wall,
Uh-huh.
I'm sleeping him now.
Okay.
Right
All right.
there.
So
Cultist.
go ahead and roll the hit dice for the sleep spell.
the short left
the red
leg
the red flame.
cultist dude is over the wall.
yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. He's just getting up over the wall right now. Let's say. I'm just gonna leave him there just for
Put it on my
simplicity's sake.
What does the cultist dude look like?
Stockings.
I mean, honestly, like they're all just generic C's because you
Okay.
presume based on your intel from your master that they're cultists. But most of these guys all just look like fucking plainclothes bandits or sellswords or adventurers, really.
Cool.
All right,
Okay.
27 hit dice.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Damn,
So.
dude.
This is going to take me a moment because there's lots of things on the map, so apologies for 1 second while we sort out the sleep.
I'm still very nervous for the rest of life.
Rod's still
thing-
in the sprinter stance.
See, the good thing is that we're being sneaky right now, and Gra is going to be so well rested when it's time to go ham. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it's time to break faces in,
It's a fair thought.
because I'm going to be expended.
Okay.
Dude, casters are so hard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done now.
And I'm exhausted, guys. I need a nap.
Oh, that rock over there looks pretty good.
I need a long rest.
Okay. 1 second. Math is hard when there's a massive battle going on.
I hear it.
I know. I
Yeah,
heard a
yeah.
man get killed.
Yeah.
This guy, Finn guy.
Stabbed in the bum.
So 12, 18. Well, this guy's got well-nourished sideburns. Amazing.
PC
Okay.
generator was awesome.
Yeah, I got like a little detail generator just for a little more flavor for me to work off of. Okay.
Oh,
So-
there it is.
With certainty, all all 4 kobolds immediately like slump down the moment they get over the wall and like go to scoop down, like they almost like go to scoop down coins, and like one by one they just sort of like start dropping. And then you can see as all these kobolds sort of just like fall over asleep, the cultist with the slight limp in the short left leg hops down over the wall and kind of is completely unaffected by the magic. And he looks up at all of you, who have surprise over him at this moment, because he was definitely just had gold in the eyes and was on board with this scenario. Like finally, like this boring night is gonna pay off with like a massive hoard of treasure and gold. So, what do you want to do?
We have initiative, or are we just doing
Krennic
it?
is at the top of the order as you guys are all just sort of seeing this unfold.
Fucking monk his ass up.
Yeah, I monk the one. I monk his ass. I move in and monk it so good.
Okay.
Surprise, motherfucker!
I mean, like, you know,
Out of the bushes.
Try
Right
to
in the
imagine this
stab.
scenario, right? This building just over the wall
Yeah.
is surrounded by forces. How are you approaching to monk his ass?
Well,
Like, are you
there's
ducking
a wall.
down behind the? Yeah, but it's only like 3 or 4 feet tall. So,
Yeah,
like,
but
are
I'm
you like?
I'm a bird.
How tall are you?
I don't know if you saw that
I'm a
video
very
of how
short
quiet
bird.
they
I'm
are.
4'5",
Alright.
and I just like straight up dart at him.
It's just those little
Yeah.
details I'm looking for, like, you know, like I'm
yeah.
I'm darting at him, like ducking beneath the eye line of the wall while I monk his ass.
No, totally. Yeah.
That kind of thing, you know?
I come up.
The kind of thing that'll keep you alive.
I go for his knees. I go for his
Okay.
knees, and I'm
All right.
like, you know, I'm not grappling or anything,
Okay.
but I'm going in with like a flying kick from the bush, just to like break his knees.
Oh, okay.
And
The long one or the
yeah,
short
and then
one?
as soon as he gets on the ground, I don't know, maybe
Well,
maybe
let's see,
he'll get on
let's
the ground.
see.
We'll see
Yeah,
what happens.
roll-
Will he be like
But I'm
equal height?
Roll the monk his ass attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
monk his
yeah.
ass. So I'm
Just
not
hit his
using.
hit his
Oh,
left,
shit.
hit his right leg.
So
Don't
that's
use it.
my unarmed attack. I don't know if it hits. Does
That
it hit?
does
wait,
hit.
now listen.
Oh
Okay,
shit!
good.
And then I follow it up with an elbow to the groin.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
You
Now-
nailed that groin.
A natural
Is that
20
one?
does not
Double-
mean
Oh
a natural
shit.
20 does not mean like you rip their head off, right? A natural 20 means you do exactly what you want to do.
Oh yeah, well I need it to the groin.
Okay.
Or elbow to the groin. As he's on the ground.
Like
And
you
you
take
silence
the
him?
knee and he drops, and as he's dropping, you almost catch the falling weight and just bring the knee right to the groin, just like
Yes.
this. Audible to you all, but not loud enough as you sort of like cup his mouth and just sort of let him drop unconscious over your knee like a little child who just like puked on Santa's lap. He just spills
Aw.
over and falls to the ground across your knee.
Nice. And I give him the old head tilt.
Okay.
So he's dead.
A quiet. It's up to you.
Okay.
Can we
Wait.
just say that we kill them all now?
I mean, if that's what you want to do.
There's more at the door.
Quietly.
Well, quietly, yeah. Dispose of them.
Yeah.
What are you doing with all like?
Just neck break.
Is
we
Grod
just
just
have
stepping on
guard,
all their
dude?
heads?
Yeah, like Graz, like completely
Graz.
uninterested. He takes 2 of his fingers and puts it on one of their chests and just goes like,
Dude, is it like a bubble wrap?
Do that to each one.
"Yep."
You're like
Fucking
kid with
bubble
bubble
wrap.
wrap?
God
That's probably pretty fair for you with a kobold's head, and him being unconscious.
I just saw your gift, Kyle. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing with all of this and afterwards?
Oh, we're definitely gonna take a long rest right now, right, guys?
All right, Grod laughs. He chuckles and he hops over the wall.
There we go. You better get in there.
We're in the shit. His biceps are glistening in the sun as he just vaults over the wall.
So are you, you're leaving them all
They're dead, right?
dead in the
And I-
field?
Oh, that's
Uh,
great.
Oh no, drag him into the bushes.
That's,
Or
my,
it's
that's
gonna-
my for real last beyond
Yeah.
the screen
All right.
common sense.
I was,
Grod,
What are they wearing? I mean, it looks like it's just a loincloth.
These guys aren't wearing much.
Okay.
You know, obviously this one has a dapper white jacket on that he probably stole from someone. This one's got tattered female undies wrapped around his legs.
I know it won't fit, but put that white jacket on.
Grog chuckles. He's like, "I'll try my best, like no other giant has done before." And he tries to slip into it and then flexes out of it and it explodes.
Yeah, I don't even think you get one arm all the way through, like, the sleeve before it just punches through. So bodies, talk to me about bodies and what you're doing, because these guys did just watch their friends jump over the wall to go round up a bunch of treasure. Assuredly, they'd be expecting them back sometime fairly soon, depending on the haul.
I've got an idea. We pull them into the trees. If you can do that kobold voice again, we can probably lure the last two over here. Hey, we need help. There's too much treasure. Hey, am I right? Come on.
Wait, did Gra already move?
No.
I don't want to.
Grog does like a whoops, and his legs go up in the air and go right back in the forest.
I barely want to stick my head over there. I just want to throw coins up in the air with my cantrip.
Come help us, we need more help.
Okay.
There's too much. And then I grab one of their hands, one of the dead body's hands, and I flail it up there with mine. And another one on the other side, like a puppet show.
Very lifelike.
Yeah, help us, guys.
Now, are you taking sure to provide proper anticipations before?
Of course.
All the little puppet arms.
I'm trying to change my voice for each of the puppet arm I'm using. And then as they're pulling them away.
Okay. All right.
I wanted to help so bad.
I mean, you could be there, like, helping hold up some of the puppets.
That's
But that's what I want. But like, will I be?
If you're gonna be
discovered?
exposed,
I don't want to do it if I'm gonna be exposed.
You're like just toying like 1 foot in, 1 foot out beyond the tree line. Like you really want to. You really love the idea of kobold puppets, but Ordic and Krennic probably pull you back.
I'm holding audible laughters back. I'm just like it's the funniest thing he's ever seen.
All right. Well, I'm definitely amused. So with advantage, go ahead and roll one last deception. Let's just say deception.
And happy.
All right.
It's not the best.
It's not the best. Not the
It's
worst.
still funny.
The guy in the colorful stockings, sitting up here, looks at the very frightened kobold who he's sort of like forced to stay by his side against all of his internal desires. He finally says, well, if it's too much to carry, and fuck it. And he kind of just like grabs him, and they go running over the wall. Like, where is it? Just past the tree line?
Yeah,
and
right
they
over here.
they kind of like just vault up on the wall. Like the kobold like even just takes point, just goes like galloping over the wall excitedly.
I point right to Gra so that they pretty much run right into a giant, thinking that it's a tree.
Okay.
And they think, oh.
All right. They both run right towards Gra and Auric. Both of you may make a surprise maneuver if you like.
I want to walk right into the one closest to me and just like flex my chest muscles outwards and bump them back out of the tree line.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. So with surprise, on a surprise round, I believe you have advantage.
I'll take it.
Let me just double check. It's been a while. Well, anyway, fuck it. You have advantage. I don't care. Yeah, you definitely have advantage. So, just for fun.
Yeah, 19.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna go for silencing him, like by hitting him square in the face with his warhammer.
Okay.
Like the cultist, like to the point where it just flat out knocks him the fuck out.
All right.
murders him.
Sorry, Krennic. Those are exceptional rolls. We will use them if for some reason they break past the offensive line here. Gra, I needed you to roll since he was running right into your burly man chest.
You just got a taste of that mucking people up, dude.
Yep. You mucked the shit out of him.
Mucking all the asses.
So what am I rolling?
It's just I don't know. Wait, what are you doing?
What-
You're just
what
like
ability are you
grabbing
doing?
him.
I'm
You can
flexing my chest muscles so hard that he comes backed out of the tree line. Like all of that force
just
he was
like
running with. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So just roll like an attack roll for one of your weapons. I don't care.
I don't care. Whatever. It's,
They're all
let's
plus
use...
6 because they're your strength. So.
All right. So I'm gonna do the iron comet just comes hurling out of the tree line. Like just straight on. You can't even see where it's originating from.
It's just red mist. It just does.
Yeah, that is where
Comet,
there's.
man.
Yeah, the tail end of the comet, which meets his face and neck area, just like literally remove the head. Just,
His legs keep running forward.
It's just blood, mist, and matter splattering everywhere. And Oric, you definitely rolled well enough for that kind of accuracy you were hoping for. What are you just going for, like the solar plex, right for the gut, knock the wind out of him? Oh, sorry, you're really quiet.
Far away or something.
For his face.
His going for his face. Okay, roll damage. Oh yeah. 1 second. Stupid thing. I need multiple combat things. Ah, there we go. You in one fell swoop just brung, like almost like you had struck a gong or you heard Moradin's hammers ringing on the anvil. This guy, eyes roll back and he just falls unconscious at your feet. Oh man. So.
Wait, is the other cultist dead?
So.
Yes.
Okay, I slit this guy's throat.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Time definitely feels of the essence, but for a moment right now, the back door to the sanctuary is wide open.
Shelfie?
Can I see if he has any treasure in his pockets?
Yeah.
None of these guys do, other than just basic daggers, bits of leather, and some of like the strange bits of clothing they had on them. Clearly, the sign of treasure was a moment of joy in their evening, as they've been sitting here, devoid of any of the fun or pleasure that their comrades have been taking upon themselves.
Shelfie?
We've got to be somewhat quiet.
Right, Grod
There
does
is-
like a.
There is a rough congregation, definitely not in any sort of militaristic formation on the eastern sort of clearing of the sanctuary. Probably a place where games and prayers are often held, under the shade of the trees.
Very quiet as I sneak up to the door.
Okay.
So quiet right now. Not through
So
the door.
you all, as a friendly reminder, are still very inspired, not only by the musical performance, but the puppet performance of Nine the Bard. So you all maintain a 1 bardic inspiration dice that you can use to improve one of your rolls should you be unhappy. Like, for instance, if you were trying to quietly move towards an encircled sanctuary building swarming with numerous raid people.
Stealthily?
So, yeah, stealth check me.
Tired.
I didn't inspire myself. It's hard to be inspired.
I'm gonna
yourself
be
as an
very
artist.
inspired right now. I'm gonna be.
Okay,
Oh
so
my god.
you can roll a d6.
Oh, that's it.
I'm not gonna inspire.
Yeah,
well,
wait. So,
I mean, listen. If we alert all the other kobolds,
okay,
we
yeah.
are
I'll
fucked.
inspire. I'm inspired. I'm a 9 inspire.
I give up.
Yeah.
How do I? Hey, Fiddy, can I just like I'm gonna.
Reinstall.
Just get naked.
gonna-
Take off all your
Rod,
armor.
did you roll?
He's gonna
I
get a
didn't
20.
roll. It's just a stealth check.
Yeah.
He's gonna get a 20
Yeah, man.
here.
Pay attention, bitch.
I did pay attention. There's my
Yeah.
16.
Wow, that's good. You dropped a 19, but...
All right.
Sorry, what did you say, 9?
Oh, I said watch, he's gonna roll 20.
Well, I didn't roll
The big
20,
guy.
but I did do a somersault over the thing, and then
Like
land
commando.
that totally stuck it, and then
Yeah.
and then like the really quiet like just still frame.
Hey, just to be fair, Fitty, there is like dragon and stuff
It's true.
all over the
That is true. That is true. Give me 1 second. Just consider.
Oh my god.
Okay. Alright. You make a bit of noise, but clearly the congregation on the eastern field is enraptured with what sounds like this large banging as they're testing out their battering ram on this wooden door behind them over here.
No, thank you.
In the cover of screams and fire and wood splintering sounds coming from the road just outside the sanctuary, where some of the troops have sort of gathered around to watch or maybe aid, you manage to get to the back door. And the door itself is locked. What would you like to do?
there like a eye hole or something where people can see out of?
There is a window on each side. The one to the left here is very poorly barricaded, like enough that, you know, like they were probably throwing lit torches in through it and smashing bits of it up here and there. You could potentially try to communicate through that or knock on the door.
I would
or something
say
else.
hold up your order or your
Yeah, I
Harper,
think the same thing.
the Harpers or the Order of the Gauntlet like badge and be like, "We're here to help," but in a quiet kind of way.
All our hands are like showing our rings through the. We're all putting our hands through the window, like look at all these.
Ra has it pinned through his nipple on his right nipple.
Oh.
You hear a you hear a startled cry, but it's nothing out of the ordinary from some of the other cries that have come up from there. And it feels like almost eternity. In reality, it's probably only about 30 seconds. But you hear the sounds of like robes shuffling along stone floor. And in front of you is a fairly elderly looking, at least for what appears to be an elf or a half elf. Is this gentleman wearing some priestly robes. And he kind of sees your symbol and he says, "By the gods! Quickly, quickly, quickly! They're distracted at the front, trying to ram down the doors, I think." And you kind of hear like this wood sound, and like you can tell they're trying to quietly do it, but it's not the greatest. But then the door creaks open and they try to shuffle you all inside.
Right.
Oh,
But don't we want to get you
wait,
out?
Yeah. How
No,
many
I want
people
to
are here?
stand. I want to stand at the door and I want to be like, "Listen, I have a way into the keep, and I need now while the coast is."
Can I?
Oh, you're cutting out a little bit, Dave. But yeah, I got the addition. You want to get them out now while the coast is clear, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could it? Can you check on the? Okay, we said all those kobolds and everything south. Can you check to see if they are still occupied?
Who
We
are
murdered them,
who
didn't
are you
we?
talking to?
No. We're
Krennic?
talking about the first group that we
The fir-
sent.
Oh.
There's
yeah,
like 10 of them, and we sent them south. I don't know which direction they're coming back. And I don't.
Goes this way.
If there's a large group coming from this compound, I don't want us to run into them.
Mm-hmm.
But Krennic is sleeping.
Okay.
Fennec, hello.
Krennic.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
That's your
My
name
bad.
now. That's your new name.
Are we sneaking them out?
Well, I just asked if Krennic would,
Oh.
if you could run some recon to see if the first group that we sent out isn't going to be in our path back to the the Sally port.
But if I fly, they might see me.
Well, go to the tree line first, and then.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna sneak around here, as much as possible. Go this way.
I mean, the building's pretty tall, right? It's like a.
Well, actually, yeah. Can I
Yeah.
sneak up? Can I fly up to like this?
Yeah, like
this
sort of
perch
like
here?
hide behind like the peak.
Yeah, I
a
want
little
to
bit?
hide on maybe this side of the roof, so they
Okay.
can't see me.
Okay.
And just to try to make sure that from here over to was it here is the gate is clear.
You.
I'll make sure it's not it's clear over here
Okay.
area.
I got you. All right, you.
You have
With
120.
with ease get up on the roof.
Yeah. Could I just see that?
There is a lot of activity swarming around the keep.
Right.
Let me just zoom out a little bit here. Okay. Share that.
Oh, around the keep.
Around the keep.
Okay.
There is a lot of activity over near these houses, and then obviously the people at the front. You see some movement over on the opposite shore, where you sent some of those other fellas.
Yeah.
I need you, while you're kind of like scanning the different horizon lines here, you can tell that they are moving towards the front doors of the church again.
Yeah.
I need you to just give me one. You can have advantage, but one stealth check.
Uh-oh.
Oh man.
This is the dragon stealth check.
Oh fuck. It's not the worst.
Uh-oh.
So as you kind of creep back past towards your allies again, you feel like you weren't spotted, but the sounds of smashing kind of come echoing from the front of the cathedral, the sanctuary, down towards you. It sounds like at this point they've got their battering ram in operational state, and they are smashing the door. Initially, to no results really. There's a second sort of smashing that gives a little bit of a splintering sound, and you can see this priest kind of cringe with each other. It's like, all right. People are kind of like screaming and getting frightened behind him as the smashing starts to happen over and over again.
We need to move.
There's a couple
Yeah.
of torches that come smashing through the windows, and smoke starts filling up a little bit. People are screaming like, and they all start sort of like, they can tell something's going on at this point, and they're all huddling behind the priest. There's probably about a dozen of them, and they look back inside, and you see Gra, Oric, and Nine. I'm imagining Krennic is still sort of perched on like the recess of the where the roof, where the peaks kind of meet. But the three of you down the ground level, over the shoulder of this priest, see two separate spots in the back of the church. Well, for you, it's kind of like in the middle. Let me just do this. So like probably about this spot on each side of the church are bedrolls just laid down on the stone ground, where you can see injured or sick people who appear to be in very poor state and or unconscious. The priest is looking back. He's like, "Wait, please, can you help get the sick and wounded to come with us? Is it safe enough?"
How many?
He's kind of looking back and kind of says, well, I feel like one is probably already gone, but three others, there's still hope.
All right,
many
boys.
Can they fit in your backpack, Gra?
Maybe?
Maybe just give them our health potions.
I like Oric's like
Gra's like, I'll make it safe for ya. And then I look around at everyone, kind of like,
Hey.
and like, yeah, come on, yeah.
You just give them the health potions.
Then we'll waste our health potions on little babies.
If one of them dies, as sad as that is, it's way better than if any of us die.
Yeah. Let's just take him. Let's just. All right, Gra moves in and he like picks up. There's like kids there. You said.
There's two small ones. One's probably like a teenager, another one's a child, and then there's like an older elderly woman
We can
on
give
the other
the
side.
elderly woman a potion, I guess.
I mean, I'm a dwarf. I've carried heavier things.
Yeah, I scoop up two of them on my biceps, and then I
Cat,
start.
man.
I mean,
Walk down.
people see you moving in, and there's like one or two of the younger or middle-aged men who kind of like sort of help you pick them up carefully, keeping them wrapped, and they're sort of trying to carry them with you quietly through the church. And then there's another loud splintering sound
Okay.
as part of the doors to the front of the thing, like not enough that they can see clearly through, but like enough of it that like there's a pretty big crack.
Okay. As everybody's starting to shuffle them out, I want to cast another minor illusion of people screaming.
Okay,
And
the sounds.
just seeing, yeah, exactly. So that it doesn't sound like it's empty now
Okay.
as we exit
nice.
out.
So Gral's gonna carry as many as he can, and the ones he can't, we're gonna give health potions to.
No, I'm helping carry the other ones.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't
Okay.
seem too challenging for you all to be able to carry them. All right. Very quickly. Yeah.
Really quick, I do want to relay the information that there is a group down here. Like there's some possible bogeys
Okay.
down there, so we have to
Oh, okay.
stay north side of the river.
We have to stay in the trees, 'cause
Yeah, in the
otherwise
trees.
the people
basically.
here would be able to.
Right.
Okay. All right. So very quickly, you gather up the people. Besides the 3 wounded, the half dozen that can walk, the priest among them, they start sort of huddling up in this area outside the back door of the church. All of them look fucking terrified. The sounds of splintering, sort of this one big battering ram smash. It sounds like they probably only have about 2, maybe 3 more smashes before they clearly
Well,
have that front door
let's
down.
move!
What's the game plan?
Well,
Is everyone out?
9. Escort
Yes.
them down this
Yep,
way to the
tree line.
trees, and don't let them group up there, or the kobolds from over here are gonna see him.
So keep them strung along the tree line going north, yes.
And then
Okay.
get them into the trees. Have them go from the trees.
Follow it north
District,
until
yeah.
the tree ends, and then cross the bend.
Yeah. As soon as you
Okay.
get cover from that other side, they can cross here, as long as there's no lightning flicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
How many are there?
there's a dozen people, including the priest, and then the 3 wounded that you're carrying.
Okay.
You could kind of see the older woman
Groups of 4.
who was also among the sick and needed to be carried is crying at the man who's left behind, but she sort of waves you to keep going and sort of
There's
kind
someone
of like
left behind.
blows a kiss.
Oh, the guy who died. The guy who died.
Yeah. He
Wait,
he
she's not staying behind, is she?
No,
No,
she's
no.
sort of
Okay.
waving at him from
She
the arms
understands.
of whoever's carrying her.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so this is going to be like a snake of just people moving. Like,
Yeah.
how are you all
Groups of 4.
Before we leave, actually, Gra wants to look on the inside of the church. Is it a wealthy church? Is there lots of gold, shiny stuff?
Too hot. Oh, yeah.
No.
Uh,
And I mean, like before, like the moment you scoop people up, there's like maybe 20 seconds to take in your surroundings before it feels like that door's coming down.
I want to say,
Okay.
as we're
Go.
to the crowd as they're marching behind the single file, follow the sound and let it soothe your soul. And I want to like Pied Pipering these people, as I'm playing this pan flute. I want them to follow behind it by the audio, and
Okay.
hopefully it calms them from all the dragon terrifying noises, so that we don't get any people going crazy
Okay.
and fleeing. Yeah.
All right. So what was this comment about 4x4? Like, are you single file fucking snaking
Well,
your
like,
way here? Or what are you
We
doing?
could do groups of 4, so we each have like 4 people we're looking after. That way, they're only because we didn't want them to all clump up into like one just giant herd.
Right.
That was
Right.
it.
As long
That
as we
was
do it fast, that's
Yeah.
As long as we do it fast. Yeah, it's just it can be
It's
one
a-
single file line. That'd be fine too. As
Yeah.
long as they can.
It's like loosely grouped in a single file.
Yeah.
They have traveling buddies.
Okay.
Everybody's got travel.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. And I know Nine's sort of taking point on guiding them there. Are the rest of
Yeah.
you flanking them?
Yep. I'll bring up the rear.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to help get the group moving, so we kind of have a middleman.
Because Krennic even talked about, or Krennic told us about the activity, I definitely want to keep my eyes peeled on that south end of the south end of the river.
Okay.
Perceiving, if I must.
All right.
See the shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to have you get to here. I'm sorry. All right.
We sneak.
9, go ahead and make a perception check as you take point and sort of scout ahead and move through the tree line here. Just as you all get past the rock wall and help like the last group of them over, you can kind of hear shouts coming out from the sanctuary. And there's like curses like, by the gods, what? What? And there's doors smashing, things splintering.
I closed the back door, by the way.
Okay, good to know.
Follow the music. Just keep following the music.
I'm the last one, and I close it. Everyone else is in front of me.
Okay.
Down this tree line. Okay.
You don't see anything to the south, 9, but doors and windows are open like PUBG style. You can tell like that people have been here.
Looted.
It's been looted. Perhaps they moved on. Perhaps they're heading back. You don't know. The forces that were up here north of the sanctuary, it sounds like they've smashed their way in. You can see a few figures sort of still standing outside the sanctuary, overseeing it. Possibly the Dragon Claw. Maybe he's a hands-on guy. You don't know. Gra and Krennic, oh sorry, I messed up the path, Oric. As you guys are, there we go. Whoa, man! I'll say you get that part.
You got launched.
Gra and Krennic, as you guys are kind of bringing up the rear partially, you see that some of these lizard beasts, upon the shouts that sort of follow your departure, the lizard beasts and some of the more interesting looking humans with them are sort of sniffing around the back. It feels like the lizards are almost being used in a tracking sort of way.
Fuck.
Wait, does it look like we can get away if we just slip off, or are they pretty aggressive?
They have snout like along the mud, like.
We gotta get into the river.
All right.
And like that's
they're
the
sort
only
of
way
sniffing and circling around the back doors, and one of them is kind of like looking near what's probably pointing towards like the smell of bodies and tracks leading over the wall.
I want to cast a minor illusion of my music playing and people crying, and just the chatter of old people nervously moving, and maybe the smell of the old people now that I know what they smell like, and it's not great. I'm sorry, I'm trying to use this map. It's so hard with this fucking non-mouse. To the north, there's a little village, and there's a field there. I want to cast it in the middle of that field, to the north of us.
Oh, like up here?
Oh god, I'm trying to get there. Yes.
Okay. All right.
As I was a strum my instrument. I feel like I'm strumming it extra hard, flicking the fucking chords and reverbs, cooking it over to there.
Ping pong, ping ping pong.
Okay. 1 second. What the fuck is tiny dick legwork mean?
You know what it means.
I do not.
Tiny dick leg work.
What?
Yeah.
I do not.
Been canon since 5e.
I do not know what that means. Okay. So, you guys are moving forward. You cast your illusion. Krennic and Gra, like last you could tell, there was a small group from that group from the fields that appeared to be responding to these lizards and following them along their path, almost like trackers. 9, you continue to lead the procession towards the water and towards like where you left the sewer door open over here. Just pull frame this guy for you.
Thanks.
All right. So as you get to the edge of the tree line and see, like where the water goes into the sewer here, into the water storage room. How are you proceeding before you break the tree line?
Right here, I wait a little bit longer to gather, and I'm gonna stay here a little bit longer. I'm gonna let somebody else take the lead so I can keep casting minor illusion to keep trying to throw anybody who's behind us off our trail.
Okay. All right. And sorry, you said you're creating a visual or an audible illusion?
Audible and fragrant.
I think you can only do with minor. I think you can only do sound or image. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This
Maybe
is true.
something else.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can read like
Yeah. Shit. All right.
prints or whatever, but.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then I'm on. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm gonna do then.
Okay.
It's just sounds in that direction.
It broke. Oh wait, that's grass.
I like the idea of footprints here. I mean, if you create an image of an object, I want you like to push grass, like grass that's been marched over towards the direction of the sound.
Okay.
If that helps.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. All right, and then once you do break for, are you just going into the water, along the water?
Let's see who's behind me. They should take
What do you
lead.
guys-
Orc.
Feel free to chime in here, fellas.
Orc.
Okay, Graz
Orc.
continues
Yeah,
to
go,
walk
go, go.
forward. Yeah.
Perfect.
Again, it's my plan.
Get up in there.
Right, and there's nothing across the river, right, to directly south where I've just put my guy. Correct. Are we going around? Are we going around this way?
I think north side, like not getting into the water. I mean, I think we should get into the water just to get their smell off of us.
I think we should too.
It's a good idea.
I acknowledge that.
Watch out for the rats.
Yeah.
That's true.
Don't worry.
Alright,
Alright.
Grog will kind of muscle away across to gauge the current and all that.
Okay, I mean it's only 3 to 5 feet deep in places. It's not very deep. It's a clean, just simple stream.
You're saying it was
Obviously,
like 3 feet.
yeah, 3 to 5 feet deep. I mean it's like obviously like the water source for the village, so it's not.
As I wade through, I dunk the people I'm carrying into the water and I shake them off. I put
Okay.
them back on my shoulders.
All right, people
Nice.
Clean now.
people start just like climbing up to you, and like one by one they're like using you as a checkpoint to like go through and splash fucking river water all over themselves.
You're clean now.
Oops, I didn't mean to touch that. You see Krennic behind you. Two of the humans, along with one kobold and the 2 lizards, sort of come over the wall and start looking around. Then the kobolds pace for a bit and stop near, presumably where you left some of the
All the
bodies.
dead bodies.
Yeah. Enough time passes like that you're all able to sort of get up to where you're starting to clean yourself in the river.
Yeah.
But while like the last few people are starting to bathe in the water and all of that, you see these guys, the lizards, kind of leading the people along the bank. A couple of the people go towards the sounds and the footprints, but the lizards head pretty laser-like towards where you all got into the water.
Time to move.
Just keep
move.
keep moving.
Yep.
I
keep
mean-
moving.
Pick up the pace.
If we lead them to the back door, then
They're gonna take us right there.
yeah, they're gonna.
But we could fight the lizards if they're separating from the kobolds.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, let's
let's
get the
get
people
across
safe.
the river. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The people, the travelers with you are getting scared, kind of seeing people following you, and the priest
Is it safe? Should we hide? What do you want to do? They'll listen to me, but they're all terrified.
Get into that keep.
Get in the goddamn.
Go in the
crate.
secret. Go in the blast door.
We describe where the door is, and they're
Okay. All right.
Go in there.
The priest nods. He's like,
I know it. It's I didn't know it connected into the keep. I thought it was just
Anyway, he kind of he starts hurrying the people along. He says, "What of the wounded, though? What?" And he rounds up some of like the stronger looking kids along with some of the more able-bodied men. He says, "All right, we can. You hold them off. We'll make for the tunnel."
Perfect.
Okay. He nods. The group of people manage to take the 3 wounded to the tunnel opening over in this direction where the blue circle is. Clearly a couple of people fell for your footprints in sound trap, Peck. Your illusion that's starting to sort of wear off at this point.
They're like, what the
Yeah, sorry.
There's nothing here.
No. Just fucking around.
Brains. Clearly, at least the lizards and one of the cultists are moving through the forest towards the spot where you all jumped into the ravine. At this moment, you definitely know more than they do, so I'm going to give you a surprise round and or what do you want to do type situation here.
Yeah.
I mean, you've set yourself up for an ambush if you want, or you know, whatever.
Gra wants to find a sapling, but it's like a really strong tree, but really bendy, and just pull it down as hard as he can with one hand.
Oh yeah, I like that.
And just wait, taking a knee.
I love that. That's awesome. Thunk.
Alright, so are we ambushing them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
gonna have to.
hey, but let's be smart about it and let's push them across the river.
Yeah.
Not,
On our side.
like
Right.
on this side.
Yeah. So go this way.
Push him back over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
push him
not
back over here.
visible on the map, but the large force definitely raided into the sanctuary, and some of them stayed outside of it on the.
Nine's gonna climb the tree, just to get height.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Like, we all need to shove all these people into the grate anyway. They can't just wait for us to fight.
No, the priests,
There they go.
along with
Priests
like
took
whatever
Oh, they
able-bodied
took 'em.
men and
Okay.
children took
Sorry,
the
missed that part.
wounded, and they are now quietly as can be filing past this tree line that you're all at and heading
it.
into the sewer.
Okay.
Cool.
Hey Fitty, do I have time to very quickly fashion a trap?
Oh, I forgot to add your basic hunting trap.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
definitely
awesome,
have.
You need
dude.
basic hunting stuff?
Well, he's a MacGyver of sorts.
He's a tinkerer.
Hunting trap. There you go. It's hunting trap. Yeah. What exactly do you have in mind? Gra, you're pulling like a sapling down, like kind of like back at an angle.
Gra remembers back to his childhood teachings of his father, Hardwood. Yeah, he taught him how to become like a stone in the woods, with a tree growing up across its side, and he assumes the form of a stone, holding this tree down.
Well, like,
At
I mean,
an
like,
angle.
like at an angle that for it to go out that way, or just like
For it to,
straight
like,
up and down.
Like straight up and then over and slap something again on the other side.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
so
the
you're like pulling it
biggest
down with the
sapling.
idea that it might smack down like that way.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
like the biggest tree he can find to bend
Alright.
that way.
Alright, so you're pulling it back this way presently. Okay. Auric, what exactly do you have in mind? You have a little bit of time, but not a ton.
I mean, I want a trap enough to act as a distraction, maybe
You cut out on the last
Varmint.
part. Distraction.
a little bit of damage, but as a distraction, and have like a cloth or something that to lead the scent or smelling creature.
Okay.
All of that.
Alright. I mean, yeah, you could pretty quickly set the hunting trap just as is, and then if you wanted to put like a scented piece of clothing, maybe you could take something off one of like the last trailing, churchgoers, if you will, and lay it down with it however you want.
Yep. And then yeah, definitely do it. And then covering it up with leaf.
Okay. Where exactly are you placing this?
This is in where I thought we were doing the ambush.
Okay. Oops. So like right here?
Yes, correct.
Ish. Okay. All right. So is everyone where they want to be?
Yes.
C.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, are there any boulders or rocks or big?
Excellent.
Not really.
Like,
I mean, there's
okay,
probably
how
like there's,
about
there's
large
probably like a
trees?
couple of large stones along the water here and there.
No, I just want a place to hide, and I can't climb trees.
Actually, I'll be over here with Gra.
Okay. All right. All right. And 9, you're up a tree. About
Yeah.
about how far up you think?
3/4.
Oh, wait,
I don't know how tall these trees are.
yeah,
As fuck.
they vary. I'd say like anywhere from like some are just real small saplings, like 7 feet or so. Some are probably like closer to 20 plus.
Okay, I'm about 15 feet up.
All right. Okay. So you all wait here. Probably only about a minute passes, maybe 2, before these lizard creatures start moving towards the spot where you all crossed over. Just as they sort of catch scent of everything, and you can tell these 2 lizards, they almost kind of like, and like they almost like sort of like confer with each other at times. Like there's very pack sort of sensation sort of being given across here. There's some like, and you kind of hear the kobold and the human from over here start to head in. Clearly finding the footprints and sounds to be nothing more than an illusion, Michael.
I touched myself
Creates new sense.
with resistance before the thing.
The kobold and the cultist behind him slowly move through the woods, kind of cautiously looking around. Gra and Krennic, since you've been here like laying in wait, with advantage, the 2 of you can roll a stealth check. But these guys are actively on the hunt and looking for you.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
With advantage.
With
Yeah.
advantage.
I mean, he's a giant.
Rolling like a giant.
Like, stealth
Wait.
check is gonna be.
Don't you
So
get
hard
one
for
more
you.
stealth check?
Yeah.
I do? Oh, cool.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have advantage.
With advantage.
I put the advantage thing on too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's just
Wait.
Because what
Okay.
happens
You did
is like if you have
disadvantage.
advantage and you have disadvantage, it just cancels out.
I think it just cancels
Oh,
out.
gotcha.
Either way, it's fine.
Well,
Uh,
find
I've rolled
you.
the
same.
same.
Yeah.
so,
Oh wow.
So the kobold definitely doesn't see you. He's all excited about like catching up to the lizards. Like, oh, nothing, saw nothing. Clearly passes right in front of your tree. The 2 lizards on the bank here are kind of circling about for a while around the thing, and then eventually you see them sloshing into the water, and the cultist is following behind them.
I want to let go of my tree and smash this
Okay.
kobold.
And it makes perfect sense that the one who clearly saw you, but not Krennic, is the cultist with the painted purple left shoulder guard. But I mean, immediately the kobold is just smashed and obliterated from the tree, just crushing down on it. And very much dead, if not. Yeah, he's just fucking dead. I mean, I don't think he's even unconscious.
Do I get an action?
You no, you can move. But basically, like, you let this thing go, and just there's this quick and this cultist is just staring at your giant form behind the tree. It's like,
Alright, I'm running this way to block him off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll run too.
All right.
Fuck him up.
Yeah.
Can I just get to him and just hit him right away?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I do that. Double-handed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and then I follow it up, but I don't know if that hits.
shit.
I've never seen anybody roll so fast.
I don't know the 13 hits.
They hit. They all hit.
Oh,
so
shit!
10
So
points
it's like-
of damage.
Goddamn right.
There's a pop in the woods, and then they never came out.
So
You
the
just see the
kobold,
trees.
the kobold's dead, and like you kind of just burst out from behind a hiding point in your little owl nest, and just and this guy's just like bent over, still standing, but just completely. Meanwhile, B team or A team, if you will.
I don't know. If I don't know why. Is that my
Team
roll?
A, they're Team 1.
What did you roll?
That
Vicious
was a
mockery.
Yeah.
Well, that's just what the DC is for.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm. And
Uh,
I'm gonna do it on the cultist that's nearest to us.
okay.
And I'm gonna say, "You fool! Your balls are showing."
so trailing behind these two clearly trained lizards, this cultist is sort of troughing through the shallow waters, and he can clearly hear you, and therefore must make a wisdom saving throw against your cruel insult about his testicles showing. And he
Must be
gets a
cold
13 plus 0, meaning he fails.
His
Just
balls
fucking
are
barely.
showing.
So,
Oh,
upon
takes-
failing, your cruel words do 1 point of psychic damage on the skinny-robed, very frail-looking guy, and he has
Take it out of the equation.
disadvantage on his next attack roll, right?
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. And then I'd like to go, and then riding along the tree
Raspberry.
line. I want to ride this way over the trap.
Ooh. Okay. You can kind of see him clutching at first his balls and then his mind, and doing so, he lets go of both leashes that were strapped to the necks of these large lizards, as like a wild dog that can smell the prey in front of him. They just go charging ahead, and one of them is just set for this trajectory that would go right over the hunting trap that Auric had set down. Which, let me see how that works again. It's been a while.
Trap bitches.
Did you affix the trap at all with the chain, or did you just leave it loose on the ground underneath the leaves?
No, I definitely want it to be like I
pinned
want
to
it
a
to
tree.
anchor.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't want him to get away.
Okay. Well, the topmost one, the magnificent tiny dick legworked one, has some interesting scales on his legs, as one of those legs just goes planting down into the trap. And so he gets to make a dexterity saving throw. Hold on.
The other one's name is Airy.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Magnificent tiny dick legwork and Harry.
Auric. Let me see if he's.
Another classic paladin, now cleric. Opa.
No.
He goes
boy.
trouncing down onto the trap, and there's like this slight mechanical sound of like a click, but nothing happens. A sight you're probably all too familiar with, but one of your little devices, which seemed perfect, did not trigger as expected. Perhaps it's the weight of the creature, or how fast he was moving. Regardless, he comes charging past the trap over it. 9, assuming you're still up in the trees.
Yeah.
And he finds the scent of one dwarf behind the tree, which the trap was anchored.
Make your move.
You do have an opportunity to strike first, since you are technically. I mean, he knows something's here, but you technically have the upper hand in terms of position.
Count as my turn, or is this an
Yeah,
opportunity?
this would count as your turn.
Oh, well,
He wipes the sweat from his brow.
What do you want to do?
I just
Ooh, did you do
What?
that?
Your mic.
inflict wounds.
I see
Inflict
the thing.
Inflict wounds. Yes. Okay. So this is like a touch attack, right? So you, as this thing comes bounding over your trap, infuriating you, no doubt. You reach out your hand and just remove the life force from this thing. Do you even have to make... Oh, it is a melee spell attack. So, okay, let's not go paladin mode here.
You're a red mage.
On your action sheet, there is the dice for inflict wounds. That's what you do. So some spells have an actual, like, 2-hit roll, just like a weapon. And this is one of them. So
There's a catch.
Yep. So so the dice icon next to inflict wounds, that's your attack roll. You do have a +5. Pretty good.
Wait. Right next. Oh, the.
So there's a dice icon and a
actions.
flame icon.
Okay.
Not
No,
terrible.
it's
Not
okay.
terrible. So as the lizard just pounces over and clicks, but doesn't spring the trap and just leaps past the tree it was anchored to, mid-stride in there, you just thrust your dwarven arm forward and connect with the breast of this lizard. Roll damage.
I'm excited to see
Oh
this.
my god. Very nice.
So describe for us Ordic's revenge.
I want it to be like, even though it's snarling and angry, I want it to be as quiet as possible.
Okay.
And he just like at his hand and just
There's
just grabs and squeezes, and it just says and
Is
just
it
falls
like
over.
is it like the Disney Robin Hood, where like the animated one with the animals, like where they just like grabs like the snake or the lizard by the hand?
Yeah.
I mean, you just do that, and you just see the thing shrivel and almost shrink in its own skin, leaving like this sagging leather reptilian skin, like almost if it's molting as you pull the life force out of this thing, and it just.
His eyes smoke black.
It just shriveled. Like you could see the milk over on the eyes, and it is very, very, very dead. You necromancied every last ounce of life out of this thing.
Oops.
Damn.
Bye bye, tiny dick legwork.
Bye.
So,
Do
I
you need to
don't
initiate?
remember. 9. What did you do?
I psychicked that guy.
Oh, yeah,
Ran over
yeah,
here
yeah.
to root to the trap.
Okay, well, no, so sorry. This last, hearing this sort of gasp, this last guy comes running over your trap, straight towards you, behind the tree that the trap is tied to. Drum roll, please.
Oh man, I hope
Come
you
on,
get it.
trap.
Revenge.
Don't be a Palindor trap.
Come on.
Don't be a Palindor.
Be a true
Talent
dwarven
trap.
tinkerer trap.
What did I say the DC is? What the fuck? Hold on.
2.
Like
It is
87.
13. Once more, another lizard steps over it. It must have been the weight. But there is a loud, audible sort of thunk, crunching, flesh-puncturing sound as this thing just... like the
Oh,
forked tongue
nice.
just spits towards you. Does
But it
roll
was
1d4?
Oh, it actually got it?
It got it.
Mm-hmm.
Little prank
Ooh,
on us.
most of them.
It takes full force of the piercing damage as the trap, the forked ends of the trap just sort of scissor and close around its front paw, its front ankle, if you will. It is very angrily chained to a tree in front of you and beneath 9 at the moment. And as this sort of all unfolds, you kind of hear the only slightly, very light squeak sound of the oiled sewer gate door gently close across the stream behind you all, as the last of the people from the sanctuary have seemed to have funneled into the tunnel.
Nice.
Did it?
So, with a chained lizard starting to make more and more noise as it's thrashing and thrashing about, you have one quick moment to tell me if you're doing anything here.
Crossbow, if I can.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you could pretty much... I'd say you still have to roll to hit, because he's just sort of... There's a bit of length on the leash of chain, I would say, so... 9, you can participate if should that fail, which it's looking pretty
Awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Ordic, you're able to just sort of put a bolt through the skull of this thing and kind of put it down between the trap damage and doing all of that. The cultist underneath Krennic and Gra still stands doubled over in pain. 9, you spot the skinny, humiliated cultist now standing with no pets in front of him, now stepping onto the banks of the opposite shore from where he was.
Dummy.
But let's start with the owl and the Goliath. What are you guys doing?
Oh. More quarterstaves and
my
feet.
God.
Hit, miss.
That is a hit.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
Oh, this poor guy.
And then a
Just
boot.
fucking mauling him.
And he did.
12 damage.
Mauling him to death.
Yep. Mauling him to death is pretty accurate.
And then I want his body to go flying out of the trees into the river. And then it just starts floating downriver.
Get Tarantino.
But don't let it float downriver,
Oh, no, we want it to float downriver.
so everyone can see it. Right.
We want to get these bodies away from the entrance. Otherwise, they're going to swarm around this area and they're going to find it anyway.
That makes sense.
The river goes this way, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
My,
Alright.
my plan is
Turn
to
to
just
sender.
start shoving bodies into the river and then let them float downstream.
Alright, and then, not but a moment after the body comes flying out into the river, my iron comet comes out and hits this guy in the back of the head.
Just out of the trees.
All right.
Stealth attack.
Advantage?
You
Something?
definitely get advantage on that. Go ahead and roll to hit with advantage.
Oh my god!
You get nothing.
Expecting,
Nothing.
almost trying to
You
try to
loser.
lead the attack. And you see this guy. You don't realize that he's been shamed and stunned by the cat, and he doesn't move a muscle. So you kind of you come charging out like "Rah!" and throw your iron comet towards this guy, expecting him to just lead right into the trajectory of your pathway here, and he doesn't move a muscle. 9, what are you doing?
Okay. I'm coming back to this tree.
Uh-huh.
You led the target.
I'm still 15 feet up.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna pull out my fucking whip.
As it goes to body.
And I'm gonna snap it. I'm gonna try and aim and snap it around his neck.
Okay.
That is.
I'll have to get new sound effects set up for your new characters. I missed the auto attack sounds.
Hold on, put it on my bar. It was not on my bar. Oh, as a bonus attack, I'm going to, as I jump from tree to tree, I'm going to play a little ditty for myself.
Alright,
I'm
so
inspiring
your
myself.
whip has reach. You still need to be within
Oh,
like
shoot.
10 feet. I'd say if you get to the tree line here, you're good enough. Like just kind of whipping
Yeah,
down
yeah.
at an angle.
And I
Um,
used my last bardic inspiration as my bonus action, like I was saying. On my
Can
way
you-
over, I
can
inspired
you
myself.
Inspire yourself?
Man, I
I mean, I'm
fucking am
pretty
inspired.
impressed.
I mean, yeah. Tonight I'll give it to you for sure. Especially after the puppet show. I'm still
is that a
riding high on
4?
that. Yeah. So you roll d6.
D6, okay. That's
12.
now.
So your whip cracks and just manages to wrap around the stunned, frozen neck of this guy. So you got like the iron comet coming one way on one side of him, and your whip cracking and coming around on the other. But yours connects and wraps around the throat of this
Oh my
guy.
gosh.
Oh yeah.
Guy must be shitting his
Is he
pants
dead
right now.
yet?
Right?
'Cause-
He is basically his body just sort of like, and he's like just barely standing up, like he's down to a hit point.
I was curious if I could now, while holding on to the other end of the whip, jump off of this tree. Because I still have movement.
Yep.
Is he attached to the other end?
Oh yeah.
So if
Okay,
you jump
that's
off
the goal.
the branch that way, then you're thinking that will pull him up?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I want to
Nice.
ride down
Oh,
like a
like a
chandelier.
Yeah. That's
But-
cool.
but
Okay.
I'm hanging a guy. So that's what I'm doing.
All right.
Using the last of my movement.
Do make an acrobatics check.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
On tree,
Uh-huh.
be one with your feet.
You know, you're like looking down. There's a branch that you're on that would make, be suitable. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You just jump down, and you all see him drag across like the water and just come tearing towards this tree branch as Oryx just finished putting down the last lizard. You come dangling down the other side, and he's not like totally airborne. He's got like 1 foot off the ground, the other one's like tiptoeing, trying to touch down. And he's just, please, 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 I'm. He's sitting there.
All right, I'm
Let him die.
gonna go say hi to this over here. Haven't seen it.
What's
All right,
everyone doing? We're out of initiative, so...
Oh.
Obviously there's still chaos swarming all around you, and the villages are back in.
I try to shove everybody into the river.
Yeah, good call.
That way, and I'm trying to clear the area from the...
Is this a solo
Right.
operation?
Well, I
No,
don't know if
I
anyone
should've-
else
I-
wants to join in.
I moved a little early. I would have helped.
Brad's
Yeah,
gonna.
we don't have to like move tokens around. You can just tell me what you're doing.
I'm helping moving the bodies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Theater of the mind, this one.
Before that happens, I don't know if there's any. It could be craft worthy. Like, I don't know if I can tell if they have poisonous bite or something.
Oh, the
Their
lizards?
Teeth, yeah, are their teeth like poisoned or something that I can
Nice.
use for a trap?
you
I also
can...
disassemble my trap.
Okay. Yeah, you can disassemble that for reuse. As far as they have, fang-like teeth and all of that, but nothing in there that really indicates poison. And you would know with some of your dwarven, persuasions there, if you will. Nothing poisonous. Yeah, just large trained lizards.
So their skin, their claws, and that stuff's not valuable, right?
You might find interesting uses for it, but trying to do that, field dress this thing would be a bit challenging. You could definitely drag the carcass back with you.
No, well, I'll just leave them.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
And then a lot of you are just collectively just sending bodies down the river.
Yep.
Is this dude that got
Just
strung up still
around the
alive, or is he dead?
He is kind of alive still.
I'm gonna pick him up by the back of his scruff of his shirt every once in a while to make sure he is alive.
Okay. Yeah,
on
like
his noose.
every time you do, there's like a please.
Jeez.
I'm just kind of like. Is anyone else close?
People are moving around you. You can see Gra sort of watching this sellsword cultist, whoever he is.
All right, the shot widens. Gra knows he's all alone with this cultist. He's got questions for him. He kind of picks him up. He's like, "Why were so many of you attacking the weak? It is disgraceful." And then he kind of pops him down on the rope a bit.
So are you trying to
question.
It's a fairly intimidating tactic. One thing I wanted to do for you in particular, and this is subject for any character, if you can give me good reason that like a certain stat, like I've always thought intimidation's a candidate. But for Gra, for instance, I find intimidation to be a strength stat for his character more than a charisma. Yeah, and there might be times where I tell you to roll something different. But anyway, I've changed your intimidation to strength. You may make, with advantage, a intimidation check.
Hey, Fiddy.
Mm-hmm.
After this guy gets interrogated, are we done? Just out of curiosity.
I'm guessing so.
Okay, because I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. It's
So-
probably, this is a good time.
I got another 9-hour drive tomorrow.
Oh, baby.
Shit.
Okay, he looks like, yeah, I'll tell you what I know.
Alright, and then I pick him up, I undo his noose, and I sit him down, hoping that he's crippled enough that he wouldn't ever get up while I'm watching him.
Okay, so you're kind of holding him here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take him to the castle.
So what did you say?
Ooh.
Like, how
If you have
come so many
questions,
of
bring
you?
with us.
Arrest him, yeah.
Alright, I'll kind of like pick him up. I'll stand up and
Yeah.
put him under my arm.
Yeah.
And I'll just start walking off towards
Like
where I
a
know
rug.
my
Wait,
friends were.
Run
And
into Orc. I want
And,
to blindfold him.
Alright,
So,
I
yeah,
run
just
into
Oh
Orc.
yeah, that way he doesn't know how he got in there. Good idea.
But while I was walking through the forest, I was like, why are so many of you attacking the weak? Why does it take so
pretty
many to attack so few?
Okay. All right. He kind of like as the dwarf is sort of like having you, like, he's like yanking him down so you could blindfold him or whatever the hell you're doing. Kind of says,
It's the cult. It's please get me some water. I'll tell you what I know.
Dip his head in the
And he-
water. Yeah.
Well, let's pick that up later. I think it's a good cliffhanger.
Alright.
So, so you take this guy blindfolded, and carry him back through the sewer, back into the keep.
Yeah. Let's say we go back to the key.
I want to try to lock the door
Okay.
back into place.
All right. You don't have. I mean, you could probably like wedge something in there or do something makeshift. You don't have like a proper lock with you. Being inside a large keep, it's probably something that you could readdress later if you talk to the Castellan. Good old Redbeard. Escobar the Red.
Escobert.
Escobert.
Pronounces his name
All right,
wrong.
so with a cultist in tow, presumably,
Skinny robe.
you head back into the keep. You've successfully liberated those that you could from the sanctuary, including a priest who may or may not be able to assist with healing and recovery through this very long night that's still ahead of you. It's probably only about like 10 o'clock at night at this point. But you all managed to safely return into the walls of the keep as you come up out of the cellar through the basement hatch. And you can kind of see soldiers with towels and like hot tea and coffee, like they've all come down to sort of help the priest get everyone safely within the walls. It's pretty clear as you get in here that they've done what they can to fortify the walls of the keep for now. They have no more plans of opening the front gate, as they've gone on to describe numerous forces sort of gathering around. And it's... Sorry, one sec. It's in the moment where you kind of get a chance to talk, like the priest, after you guys all get a little situated, the priest along with the red-beard fella and the governor all kind of take you up top the parapets of the tower, and they point out, let me just do this. They point out numerous forces. I mean, this is just a taste.
Oh.
Numerous forces gathering around, and there's a very, very, very large, not fully shown to scale in terms of numbers, group of very prestigious-looking guards, and a woman garbed in very ornate purple outfit. Let's see. And she stands at the center of it all in a very authoritative way.
Frulum.
You're not supposed to see that.
Just
part.
kidding.
You don't know that. And they kind of says, yes. Thank you for what you've done. This is the governor speaking. He kind of like clasps each of you on the shoulder, and he says we might actually stand a chance to survive the night, but clearly, as you can see, and he gestures down towards this large force, says the front gate's no longer an option. He says hopefully we can continue to use the tunnel you've opened for us. And maybe we can save some more people before this night's over.
Oh, we'll sadly port the shit out of it.
Then, as Gra hears save a few more people tonight, he looks down at the cultist, kind of winks at him. A little glimmer goes off his teeth.
The Castellan, the dwarf, and the governor kind of share a look of surprise, and they're like, perfect. Let's question him in a moment, and we'll pick up that next time.
I'm out of here.
GG.
Night, guys.
Bye, Casey.
Bye.
Disconnected from your
Pretty damn good.
That was
I feel like we could have saved more people.
I mean, we saved all of them, right? All of them from the church. From the church we did.
From the church we did. Yeah,
I was
worried that there might be more.
I was impressed.
Yeah. Why were they all supposed to? They were all supposed to die.
Or the sick and infirm.
Yep.
Left behind.
Got them bitches in.
You
Man.
yeah, that's a pretty good move. Getting yourself a handy dandy priest there pretty early on in the night.
Oh
An
my
extra
God.
priest.
Yeah, seriously. And then having a draw that can carry like 5 people.
That's pretty helpful too. Goliaths.
Oh yeah, that's right, with the double carrying capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
That's,
in other
that's a
areas.
racial trait. That's canon.
That's amazing.
I lift everything puny.
In some lands, they
You
call me
guys
a horse.
you guys make a pretty solid 4-man team between all that stuff with the Goliath and the traps and the clerics and the flight scouting and the
Yeah,
bard
traps.
puppet shows.
We've learned the Bard puppet show is the best thing
Bard
ever.
puppet show.
I wanted to like hold their corpses up and do it with them. But I was
A little dance.
so afraid of getting caught.
The Weekend at Bernie's, but with kobolds.
Yes. So are we saying Oric?
Oh, I was saying I regrets on.
Oh no!
Ah,
no.
Again, you cut out so bad.
I hate your microphone. Dude, I'm pretty sure it's probably just the threshold in TeamSpeak. Like if you make it really low or something.
Yeah, right in the thresher.
But anyway, you what? Just eat the mic, eat it.
I said the cantrips. I would have changed my cantrips.
Yeah?
Yeah, there you go.
Hmm.
What to what?
Like forever?
TeamSpeak just broke on me.
No, we can hear
We
you.
can hear you.
Is it through? Oh,
Or you can't hear us.
can't hear us.
We can let's go into Hangouts chat.
Yeah, we can hang out.
Maybe we can just Hangouts.
All right, hang
User
out.
disconnected from your channel.
Hello.
Yeah, it's easier. Hey.
There you go.
What were you saying?
Yeah, you
You would change your cantrip forever? Because
Yeah, I
cantrip's
would-
like a one-time choice.
Yeah, I know. But the thaumaturgy would have really helped for like a lot of that stuff because he was casting Minor Wonder all over the place.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's-
what do you
I
do
for
have?
one am very glad you don't have thaumaturgy. I don't think it fits the character personality, and I'm sick of that fucking cantrip.
You're welcome.
What does it do?
Which is why I didn't pick it last time.
It does so much ridiculous.
You just like
ridiculous shit.
make noise and like illusions and shit. It says I don't think it really fits Auric, to be honest. Like it being, despite my dungeon master being sick of it feelings, like I don't see it.
More of it.
So I am not
It's
giving
for the
you the
bard.
option to take that.
It's fine. I
Damn.
get another
Yeah,
cantrip at
put
level
down.
4.
Oh fuck.
I learned the importance of that
Well,
spell.
a good, genuinely a good job. I expected that to get a lot messier.
It was messy for them.
It almost did get messy several times.
Well, you know the night's still young in game.
We had some key roles at some pretty important times.
That's true.
Happy you gave me the tree slapping